What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Europe. I'm your host, Jason Kaplan, and this is going to be an exciting 3 days of action to find out who's going to take home the lion's share of the $42,000. And we'll obviously get into how teams do win the money, so I'll tell you this, you're not going to want to miss that one. But I got to introduce my lovely analysts here on the show. We've got Imperium and Professor Tarzan here to help break down all the action. Maxman is breathing a sigh of relief because he's going to have to take the brunt of my anger, or whatever you want to call it. Fun is what I call it. But Imperium, how you doing, man? It's been a couple days since I've seen you.
Yeah, man, it's been a hell of a long time. What can I say? Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's a different kind of event, different kind of format, different kind of prize pool structure, and it's going to bring a different set of eyes and a different kind of taste. So I'm really looking forward to it.
How about you, Tarzan? How you doing? First time in the history of both of our careers that we're working together.
Yes, it's actually very exciting. I think it's a very good way, to have a start. I mean, especially for this event, it adds a lot of change to it. I want to see the state of the team. I mean, some of them will be going to the Global Championships. Some of them is like, this is the last thing, of the season. So different mindsets coming in, and we can't wait to find out how they're going to play this.
Yeah, some teams, like you said, the last event of the year for them, but it's a very exciting event, and we've been teasing a little bit about how the format's going to work, but we don't need to tease anymore. Let's just take a listen in and find out exactly how it's going to work.
The best European teams are ready to prove who's worthy of the champions title of PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Europe. The tournament will be held for 3 days, from November 19th till November 21st. During these 3 days, 16 teams will battle for the first place and a hefty chunk of the prize pool of $42,000. Each team has its own bank. At the start, it contains $2,500. The more they fail, the less they get. If players cannot get more than 6 kills per team, they lose $20 to $50. If a team takes a place between 14th and 16th, it loses $50 to $100. In a match, a team cannot lose more than $150. All lost funds will go to the champion of the tournament. Join the stream and show your support in chat. See you on the battlegrounds.
So I love it. It's Squid Games-esque. We're at the very end. You're losing money the entire time, and the winner takes it all. But obviously, if you still hold on to money, which teams are guaranteed a minimum amount, then you still get a little bit of extra money for yourselves. But gentlemen, quick initial thoughts on that. I, for instance, love it. It's so exciting for me.
Yeah, for sure. I think it brings something new to the table. You start off with that pool of money. You can go up and down depending on how you do every single game. So I think compared to other tournaments, as much as we talk about these big prize pools, I think this kind of event, with the system they have in place, the prize pool is going to be a little bit more in the minds of the teams every single game.
I think it's nice, right? It's adding some new flavors, but also challenging the team to think, is there a new way to play this game, right? Because we are heavily rewarding those who are going to be willing to play aggressive early, and we're going to see a lot more of that.
And just to brush you guys up as well, not only has like prize changed and how it works, also how you get points, right? It's the typical place of points, first place 15 points for a chicken dinner. However, kills, Imperium. I'm hoping you're prepared to talk about this. We gotta mention it.
Yes, I am indeed. Let's get this show on the road. So unlike the normal 1 point per kill that we see in competitive PUBG Mobile, if you get a kill in the first 2 circles, you get 6.6 points per kill in the first 2 circles. And if it's in the first 3 circles, it's 4 points per kill, so between circle 2 and circle 3. And then if you get that final basically elimination of a whole squad, you get 5 extra bonus points. So the majority of these points that the teams are going to get, Jason and Tarzan, it's going to be from kills.
Pretty crazy.
I'm just imagining Tarzan that it's going to be a bloodbath in the first few zones here.
Very much so. I mean, we've seen some of these teams playing in Euro Championship, all those, and they're trying to make drop spot adjustment, right? Because they don't want to play that risky early game. But here is a complete different story. You go in, if you're more confident, you take not just, you know, a few kills, you take up to, I know, quick maths right there, 29 points, I think, right? Like 6 points times 4 plus 5. Jesus, that is a lot of points.
He's like the complete opposite of Max Ben Imperium. He did quick maths and it was correct. But let's give you guys an idea of who all is playing in this event, however. A couple of names, actually quite a few of names you're going to recognize actually from the European Regional Championship, which just concluded about a week ago. We got S2G in there, who's been able to make it through into PMGC. Next, Rüya Gaming as well, who got in through through PMGC points. I mean, you got to mention a couple of other big names here off the bat.
Yeah, for sure. You got Papara, Supermassive Blaze, just wanted to get that out of the way. Navi, you got Konina Power, who fell quite heavily short in European Championships, and a team of Team Unique, who I'm really curious. They really fell hard in the PMPL CIS, finishing 11th in the final. So Tarzan, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Team Unique can pull out.
Yeah, especially after losing some very key players, right? Like a lot of them are lost, to be fair, not just from that squad. We talk about Konina's Power's disappointing run, right? That caused some of these talents from both these teams to go to the top team right here that we're looking on the screen. Major Pride got Nomi, as well as two very powerful players being Discrim and Yen, both from the side of I believe that should
Alliance.
be Alliance. There we go. Yeah, so very, very interesting and exciting change from the CIS teams.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how like a lot of these teams are going to do here. Like Big, for instance, Imperium, we watched them in PMPL Western Europe, and unfortunately they didn't qualify into the next stage to play in the European Regional Championships, but they have such a strong team. And here's the schedule for the next 3 days, guys. It is 4 matches a day, but as you're noticing, there's something a little bit interesting in here. The very last round is going to be Erangel, the Arcane version, currently out in PUBG Mobile.
And you're a big fan of this collaboration, right, Jason, of this Arcane collaboration, so I think you've really enjoyed this game mode. There's a couple of tips in play with it, so I think it's going to be a big surprise to the viewers, to the players, and how you're going to be really going to be able to wrap your head around the Arcane game mode. I'm really looking forward to it, Tarzan.
I love it, actually. We love change today, you know, like a little bit of new challenge the way that you think about the game. It's actually also almost a bit more merciful, right? We've got these wonderful islands. You don't get completely eliminated if you do fall short on those.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll obviously get into that a little bit more before we do hop into it, because it is our final round. So we have a little bit of time before we can get there, and we have a little bit of time before we can hop into the first match anyway. So why don't we learn a little bit more about a couple of these teams before we get things underway.
The Thunderstorm of the CIS region. They took the first place on PMPL CIS Season 2 Finals. Will the other teams be able to confront them?
Konina Power должен закрывать весь состав. Падают один за одним, как солдатики, Кицуна и Матик, Номи и Олдбой. Практически поставили точку на Natus Vincere на нашей второй карте.
3 килла заработал Олдбой на своих.
This strong squad was the first CIS team qualified for PUBG Mobile Global Championship 2021. Will we see something special from them?
Рискуют отправиться на 4-ю строчку. Здесь сейчас по Кицуне хороший огонь провели. Серьезная проверка будет для Вивика. Готовы ли они писать сейчас с фаворитом 2 на 2, имея неприятную позицию. Тем не менее идет Агори вперед и оппонента и перестреливает Агори со второй попытки.
They showed decent performance when they took the first place at PMPL Turkey Season 2 Finals. Will they be able to continue in the same vein at this tournament?
Forsak düşen ilk oyuncu şu anda. Trap onun hemen yanındayım tabii. Geç gözcü kolay bir yerde ilk skor save'ına geliyor. Burada Respect'in artık son dakikalarına yaklaştığını zaten söylemiştik. Bu an fark artmaya devam ediyor.
Their playstyle and individual skill are just beyond comprehension. Other teams will definitely have to work hard to beat them.
aldı ama öyle bir şey yok. S2G galibiyet alanını aldı. Papara Supermassive bile zaten eleniyor. Onlar buraya kadar fena gelmemişti. Puanlarını aldıktan sonra sonuçmaya başladığı saniye onları da vuracaklar. Tak görülüyor. Son mermiler atılıyor. Silas burada ilk skoru çekmeye çalışırken ikinci skor Sirit hayatta kalarak 12 puanı aldı. Son mermiler Rip 7'a girdi.
Just a couple of teams that we participated here. There's still quite a few looking to prove themselves and obviously try to take home as much money as possible. But for you guys at home who haven't been paid attention to the esports world at the moment, PUBG Mobile Global Championship 2020 has been nominated as the esports event of the year in the Game Awards, one of the most prestigious awards in esports overall. And funny enough, PMGC 2020 was the only mobile event actually nominated in this one. And if you guys are excited about that, make sure you guys go vote over at thegameawards.com. And keep in mind, PMGC 2021 with $6 million on the line is all starting in 11 days time on the 30th of November. And with two different conferences, West and East, you're not going to want to miss that. It's going to be it's going to be amazing. I can't even honestly put it into words how the pinnacle of PUBG Mobile competition from around the world all going head to head until we do have our victors over in January. It's going to be crazy, but make sure you guys get your votes in as quick as possible. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, there are people behind us in the stadium. And if you guys are active in chat, if you're active enough, you can actually get your avatar put up there as well. So hopefully we get some people, you know, maybe we can get like a line of people that says like follow Jay Kaplan on Instagram in there somehow. If you guys can all organize your avatars and talk appropriately. But who knows? But anyways, we're going to be heading into our first match in a little bit of time. But you guys also have the ability to get your predictions in, because if the chat is right, we'll be dropping codes for you in the chat in the following game. So use the hashtag, you know, if you want S2G to win, hashtag S2G. If you want Exquisite Decode, hashtag EXQ. If you want Navi to win, hashtag Navi. That's probably who I'm going to be going with. But in terms of predictions, Imperium and Professor Tarzan, you do not get to escape the fury of my prediction game. Tarzan, I'm going to have you go first of who you think is going to take the first match today.
You know what? I'm going hashtag KP for this one. Yes, I know they have not been performing that well before, but they brought in two stand-in players, right? I mean, Teak is one of the two, and people have been hyping him up. Like, I haven't seen him that much, but I feel like when a team kind of just got shattered because of disappointment and come back and bring new blood in, I want them to do well.
Okay, Imperium.
I'm going to go for hashtag NR next Rüya, because they missed out on the European Championships completely. This is their only real kind of competitive event before PMGC. They need to be coming out all guns blazing.
Yeah, that's fair. You know, they did miss the event, but they still qualified for PMGC anyways because of their points. Able to do a fantastic job. Again, Frozen on that team. Excited to see what he could do. 15 years old. I don't know if he's turned 16 yet, but he's like one of the best fraggers we've been able to see in Turkey. If I did a prediction, I mean, it's a cop-out, and I think Kalaris and Maxman, if they were here, they would make fun of me for it, but Navi, like, how can you say no against them? I mean, Imperium, we just saw how deadly they were in that first week of the the first day of the European Regionals, literally running from camp to camp, building to building, compound to compound, picking up kills. And if they have that same kind of success here with getting 6 points per kill before Zone 2, come on, Navi's they got to take it.
Yeah, but then again, kind of one concern, I say, for a team like Navi, who tend to play outside of the circle on phase 1, phase 2, maybe phase 3. If they stick to the same place, I'm not saying they will, but if they do, that might hurt them in the late game when you really look at the fact that kill points make such a big difference in this tournament.
Yeah, I want to see hot drops.
Very true.
I want to see a lot of hot drop, especially from these teams from Western Europe, right? They keep running away, like through European Championship as well. They come back. I think they may find some new strengths, you know, through this point system to say, you know what, might as well give it a go. And that can really switch things up from here onwards.
To be honest, I expect every team to play a very standard game of PUBG Mobile in match 1. I think when we get into our second match, though, when they realize how many points some teams are getting, we're typically used to seeing like 30s. If you get 15 kills plus 15 points for chicken dinner, we're gonna see like 40s and 50s potentially, maybe even 60s. If teams are getting aggressive very early on, and I think they're going to realize, yeah, okay, we got to change up our style a little bit. And not to mention the final map of the day, the arcade mod here for Erangel, so it's going to be even crazier when we get to that point. But I'm curious, maybe some dark horses. Maybe we can see what chat predicted if that's all done and tallied up. I know we have some guy in the background who's literally looking through chat one by one, making tallies to see who chat did predict. But I'm not really sure who I could really consider a dark horse in this one, because I feel like some teams we expected to do well previously haven't really been able to.
Yeah, I think Big is a good shout as a bit of a dark horse, right? They kind of fell pretty damn hard back in the PMPL.
They tripped and never got back up. Yeah.
There you go. So I think this is a bit of a, I don't want to say redemption arc, but I definitely think there's a element of dark horse redemption from that.
There you go. Chat agrees with me. Hashtag Navi Nation in chat. Well, I guess it's not Navi Nation. Hashtag Navi in chat. There we go. Exquisite Decode. Getting a, actually not getting up there. Sorry, I was misreading the logo there, but Big. We did get them in 3rd place.
I think Big.
Exquisite Decode. My bad. That is number 2.
I think both teams are actually the very interesting choices, right? Like we know that the Exquisite Decode has that fragging power, but the macro has to go with it, right? Like you need to unleash Eliseo even more. Like he was that back-to-back MVP in PMSC finals, and I want to see some change. I mean, like he's good, that guy.
How can you unleash him even more if it was back-to-back MVP? You know, I don't know if he get even better than that, but we're going to find out here as the first match is going to kick off in just a second. Let's head over to our commentators of Copter and Span Cargo.
Heading towards the western side, and of course we have lovely Span Cargo here as well. What do you think about the hot drops?
I'm really excited for it. I mean, we heard them over on the desk talking about it. We're expecting a lot of chaos very early on in these matches because this is where all of the points are going to be coming from. And honestly, with a plane path like this, super far down to the southern side, even if they didn't want to hot drop each other, this plane path is kind of forcing it anyway.
Yeah, we can see a lot of teams jumping immediate. At least 2 teams are on the Novorepnoya area. Couple teams will be heading towards the Multa Power Multa area, so we'll see how they will be spreading there, but at least 3 teams on that area, so that might guarantee some early fighting. But 2 teams, they have already landed, so let's see what's going to happen. Lots of other teams, of course, will spreading out from the plane as well, but I think as soon as they will realize that there's a team right next to them, they will just might go for it.
Because reminder, it is the first 2 zones where people, if they get a kill, it is 6 points, and then zone 2 to 3, 4 points. So right now, if these guys started getting these fights, this is the 6 points.
Yeah, there we go. We can see the first action happening here in Novorepnoya. We can see Diavla taking the damage. We can see Pride is going to be just pushing towards, and Diavla's going to be taken down. So Milky Way will find Diavla, and Nomi will get a flush on that one. So that's the first, and that's the kill on the first zone. That's going to be a 6-point kill.
It looks like other fights are happening, but also remember, support your creative expression without limits with Xiaomi's 11T's Cinemagic Power. We saw that pop up there on the screen. That's what the majority of these guys potentially are using to get these 6 points. And wow, it actually looks like some guys going for a really long drop in the distance. Looks like this team really wants those points, just taking a lot of long shots at them as Frozen's just slowly flying down the sky. Yeah, it looks like that opportunity has given up. So there are a couple of cities here that are just definitely at least have a couple of teams. It looks like Pride's not done.
Yeah, there we go. It's going to be Team Unique. Mine is going to find one, so that's going to be Daddy taken down from the Exquisite Decode as well. So a lot of early engagements. We can see that, of course, the points scheme is kind of like engaging and allowing this to happen. So a lot of teams are jumping on each other's, but we do have some teams quite far away as well. For example, Navi, they have gone for the normal looting positions. They're traveling towards the northern George Ball, meanwhile, as everybody else seems to be fighting on the southern side. But, yep, I think the early, like the 3 points, they are now taken. And, you know, some teams, they want to escape. Okay, these guys will be hunting us down. But we still have some fighting happening here, meanwhile, on the on Gatska.
Oh, there we go. Ooh, okay, S2G. Oh no, 7 trying to go on ahead and get a knock, but stuck up on top of the roof. He's going to be pushed instantly, taken down. We can see the remainder of S2G nowhere near the rest of his team. Got up on the northern side, starting to take a vehicle. Looks like he was trying to get a little bit of a roundabout to see what he could do, but nope, he's just going to turn right back around. Unfortunately, he cannot save his teammate, so now he just has to try to survive.
Yeah, Poku's hiding here on the sewers. The circle, it shifted on the western side, as we can see, but it's a pretty fair one. It's including, well, almost everything except for the eastern side of the main island. So that's pretty fine. But definitely Poku's in trouble. We can see that the people are trying to find him from inside of the Pochinki, but they are not finding it. So that's the Surreal Esports as they're trying to go door to door to find the player, but he's hiding here. They saw him dropping down, and Vodafone Giants, they have the Foreman stack still alive. So there's other players as as well, but they have like scattered all around the city. So nobody's actually inside. They are just, finding themselves on the eastern and the western, and I think on the northern side as well.
Yeah, especially with this Zex zone shift. It's nicely on the mainland here, so the majority of people will still have spaces to be able to find a place to play off of these first couple of zones. But we can see, I feel like I can already see that some teams are being more aggressive. We can see that in Novo, people are kind of backing up here. I mean, in Pachinki, they're kind of trying to be a little bit more quiet. They don't want to be the first team eliminated. They don't want the other teams to be getting those 5 points for eliminating a full team. So at this point, it was a little aggressive at first, kind of slowing down for right now as they're trying to figure out how to get the advantage.
Yeah, I was really hoping that I will see a squad wipe, getting that, what is it, like 24.5 points or 29 points from wiping down one squad. And I think that all the teams, well, not all of them, but at least some of them, they're also like trying to avoid that, of course. They don't want to give 29 points for the other team. So we can see Vodafone Giants, they're just waiting. They have the patience. So I'm just wondering, does Surreal Esports actually realize that Vodafone Giants, they're just lurking here around? And when maybe at some point they want to leave from the city, they just might have a surprise actually happening, because all the players, they're just waiting all the movement to happen.
Ooh. Oh my goodness, and even down here on this little plateau on the beach, we're having a little bit of an altercation here. It looks like, unfortunately for Conqueror, 2 of them are going to fall down. No way. It looks like Big is just going to go ahead and run away with a couple of those kills there. Conqueror can't quite do anything. There you go. Don't want to waste bullets. Going to go ahead and punch each other out as well. And, oh man, that is 2 big points there, because reminder, that was just 12 points right there.
Yeah.
Because each of those kills were 6 points.
Yeah, that's a lot of points, definitely. I mean, nice setup there happening on the southern side. We can see other teams still like lurking around the area. As we can see, Konina Power, they are watching what is happening here. They have the whole team still remaining, and they are moving on the coastal line. So they might try to build something around it if they will spot something happening on the beach. We can see Evo Station going straight towards Virtus.pro. They are still holding that one. The other 2 guys from the Konina Power, they are right there on the northern side, and that's it. They will go for it. They have spotted down the players. There'll be 3 players waiting there. This could be a suicide run as well, but no, they will just go with Trey. We can see Ashka taking the damage, and the spray from Azure is going to be connecting, and that's enough.
I mean, they knew that they were out in the open. Why not go ahead and take that? They stopped perfectly on a little bit of an incline. Were able to use the vehicle as some cover. The rest of Konina Power continued on driving to crash the compound. They knew they had the advantage, and they're obviously going to go ahead and take advantage of it. We can see the rest of them trying to get inside of the building. There we go. A nice push happening, though. Gonzo alone will still be able to get the next knock. And the rest of the teammates that are in that big building, not quite there. We can actually see one getting away on the beach. They're just driving away.
Yeah, I mean, one player's going to escape on the eastern side, and one player is still maybe on the compound. Yeah, he's going to be leaving as well. So they will just get away, and that's going to be, I mean, they will just hunt them down. It seems that they will actually continue. So Conqueror, they will definitely come on the backsides of kills, as we can see from the mini-map that they are trying to hunt them down. He's going to be trying to escape all the way on the other side. But meanwhile, on the bridge, we can see Xiaomi finding a Virtus.pro player. He's not going to hide anymore. He's not going to be getting away from that situation. He's going to find another trouble.
Oh, yep, down to the water they go. Looks like Nomi's going to pick up that kill. The rest of Pride now starting to run across that bridge, but wait a second. Konina Power still being able to pick up a bunch of kills, and Virtus.pro is our first team eliminated. Reminder, elimination of a team, that is 5 extra points, along with that 6 for that kill inside of the first 2 zones. This is already way too many points than I can count. I hear joke about all the time how I have trouble with caster math, and this format, I just have to wait until the leaderboard pops up at this point, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the scoring system isn't the easiest one to calculate because the points are changing by the zone as well. I'm just very happy that Max is not here because he would be completely having a huge issues by counting the points, just like Jason pointed out on the studio. So it's nice that Max can actually have his rest. Pogo's going to be waiting. We can see that the Surreal Esports, they are still trying to find these players from the Pachinki area. They may be looting as well. And we can see Pogo's just waiting here. 2 players right next to him. At least one. Yeah, the 3 guys are actually more further back, and they seems to be getting away from that location. So maybe Pogo's going to get a 1 and maybe get away from the whole situation. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be taking time, but there's no reason to leave because Pachinki, it's on the middle of the circle, so they can just stay here. They can chill, they can hold the place. But I mean, Vodafone Giants, they have the patience.
Ooh, another big fight happening just below Pachinki. There we go. Unicorns of Love, unfortunately, going to lose one of their members. Of course, that's going to have this other team start making the big push forward. Flux Esports wants to continue to be picking up these kills, but it looks like Unicorns of Love are going to be able to provide a little bit of cover for their singular teammate that is here against the entirety of this team. More of them starting to pull on up. You can see the vehicles getting closer and closer. They want these 6 points before the zone's going to go on ahead and pop. And a ton of nades, but not quite yet. Meanwhile, it looks like the patience coming through from Vodafone Giants is going to work out as they get a knock from the team, and Pachinki finally leaving.
Yeah, finally, Ulyss is going to be getting that reward. One player from the Surreal Esports going to be falling down, so they will get at least one player, 1 point. Well, not 1 point, actually. It's going to be more than 1 point because it's going to be 3 points from that kill. We can see also Unicorns of Love, they will get raised down from the Flux Esports. That was a nading situation, what we saw before. And now we can see it from the What Zone's point of view. We can see the Flux players hiding behind that hill. They're trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do, actually. Maybe they're waiting when the Unicorns of Love going to be getting on top of that hill, but they're definitely building something. We can see Wolf going and prodding, just, crawling right next to the players, hoping to find something. But meanwhile, GK First is going to be doing a flank on the side, and he just might be surprising the whole team.
Owner definitely knows that somebody's going to be coming from that angle, though. We can see him intently watching that warehouse, waiting for somebody to peek out. Looks like Unicorns in Love. This team, they're kind of like making circles around each other at this point. But there we go. Owner was watching that spot. Will do some damage to GK First. Definitely going to have to heal on up before they continue the fight. And it looks like our next team, Conqueror, is out.
Yeah, that is a surprise. I mean, they were the team who were actually bullying on the southern side earlier, and they managed to get the early kills from the from Virtus.pro. But then somehow they just lost the situation, so something definitely happened there. But yeah, meanwhile we are still watching the Flux and the Unicorns of Love situation. Wolf is going to be putting a nade towards GK First. Not going to be connecting enough. Rolkish has been taken down already, so Unicorns of Love with the 3-man stack, they are trying to solve this trouble what they have in front of them. Soulless is going to be doing a flank. He's going to be spotted down by Lin, but yeah, there's no angle, so he cannot open the fire.
There we go. You're going to go on ahead and start using this rock for some cover. Prepping some nades? Nope, just deciding to back on up, probably because Lin is starting to prep their own nade. So luckily, Owner P will just be able to get out of there fast enough. But look at this, Unicorns of Love with the insane angle now. They're completely pinched after sending one to that little shack in the middle of the field. So at this point, I mean, Flux Esports has to be really careful with the angles. They kind of just have to decide which angle to start pushing and take out at least one side so that they can get out of Unicorns of Love's hold.
Yeah, true. And the phase has changed, so now the kills are, by the way, just only yeah, it's gonna be still 6 points per game. No, it's going to be actually before the start of Zone 2. So it's going to be 4 points now because it's Zone 2, so it started already. So we're going to be figuring that out. But anyways, the points are changing dynamically because the lead falling down. Kitsune comes and falls down as well. Owner, meanwhile, flushed down. GK is to find Wolf. And we can see Meku getting Timber and the S2G. They are fallen down as a whole. So the team, that's going to be the second, actually the third team that's going to fall down as a whole.
That is insane. Unfortunately, Solus, now the last one up for Flux Esports, is not looking too good for them, but it's not going to stop him whatsoever. He knows that these points are a lot more, so he's trying to go on ahead and get a couple of them. We already said it's 4 points now that it is going into Zone 2 to 3, and GK First is just going to continue to hide out. Solus, he's out of there. He wants to go ahead and survive. Don't even give Unicorns of Love that 5 points for eliminating the team. Meanwhile, Pachinki has finally started popping off.
Yeah, the whole location with the Unicorns of Love and Flux were having a fight. There's actually a team coming from the Ridge as well, so there will be a third team coming to the pod. But meanwhile, we are watching what is still happening at the Pachinki. Still, we do have Surreal Esports still fighting with the Vodafone Giants. So we saw that one player, Arcane, was taken down. They still have a 5-man stack, and I think Vodafone Giants, they might be still having all the players alive as Soulless still continues to fight with the Unicorns of Love. But there we can see that the other team, the Pride, which came from the southern side from the bridge, they are now kind of like trying to third party on the whole situation, and Solus is the last guy from the team, so he will try to maximize the points that are available, but he's completely in trouble. Unicorns of Love on the other side, and then he has the Major Pride on the southern side. Well, takes the damage, and there we go. Finally, it's going to be Major Pride. They will find Solus, and Flux Esports, they're going to fall down as a whole.
They're going to be happy about that. They got I think they might have just gotten the 4 points for the kill, potentially, and they got that 5 points for the elimination, so that is huge. Meanwhile, back in Pachinki, let's see what's happening here. Oh, Vodafone Giants, one by one, going down. It looks like Ulysses up on top of the roof here, only has one other teammate. Poke's still alive. This fight with this other team, Surreal Esports, not going too well so far. They had the upper hand, but it kind of went back to equal grounds at this point. I mean, it's hard fighting in cities, and it looks like they're gonna have to continue figuring this out, but the zone is already moving.
Yeah, it's going to be hard fighting on the gas stations as well. Major Pride versus Unicorns. The floor of GK first gets him down. Milky Way. He's gone up on the Milky Way, definitely. But GK first will be traded immediately. It's going to be Naomi from the Major Pride, and the Unicorns will love. They will find their end.
Wow, I don't know, think I was expecting that, but they wanted that kill, upset that that other team ended up taking their solo down. So of course they ended up pushing Major Pride. Major Pride now not going to be held out. It can get inside zone. This zone went towards Everest, by the way, so a ton of people are now having to move. Here we go. We can even see Navi starting to go for a big spray on a Team Unique right in front of them. We know that some people on the desk are interested in watching both Navi and Unique, see how they'll perform. Right now, haven't seen too much early on, and now all these points, they don't have the specialized points anymore.
Yeah, Navi, they have managed to get 3 kills already, though. So they have guaranteed those 9 points from the early, I would say, with the bonus points, I would say, on some level at least. So they managed to get some of those points on the early situations. Meanwhile, Blaze, as we can see that they're completely just, hanging there. They don't have any threats right next to them. Team Unique's going to be holding those buildings. But the situation here in Pochinki is still going to continue. Ulysse is going to be spotted down, gets the spray towards the Surreal Esports player. He's going to be falling down, but doesn't get the flush, and it's going to be traded. So it's going to be Enjoy 7. He will get Ulysses down and can still save his teammate most probably. So that's going to be just one player remaining for the Vodafone Giants. That's going to be Pocus, and he's still hiding on the city. Actually doesn't have the heals, only one first aid and 18 bandages, so he's going to be definitely in trouble. He needs to find a vehicle, and if he really wants to stay alive, he needs to leave, and fast.
Oh, yeah, it definitely looks like he's disengaging at this point. Big. Looks like they're going to be able to pick up at least a singular kill over there with a little bit of a run over. Unique, not going to be happy about that. Starting to push up this hill. There we go. Actually finding a knock on a Navi. And they're going to get that point there. The next zone is once again about to pop, and it looks like they have to go south. This is going to be a Gatka zone. Nobody currently inside of Gatka, so interestingly enough, whoever spots out that that is free first is going to have a free compound to go ahead and take.
Yeah, there was a fighting happening earlier, but the both teams actually left from there, so now it's completely stranded. We can see Blaze, for example, heading that direction, so they might get that place. So definitely there will be 2 teams actually crashing on it, and we can see Big also traveling here, Team Unique. We can see Navi actually, they are one of those teams because they're going to be heading towards the Gatka, and it's going to be Blaze right together with teams. So Navi and Blaze, they are fighting from Gatka. We can see Kitsune trying to put all those smokes there. We can see Blaze taking the building below him, so John and Gerserach, they are holding the first floor, and 2 other guys are on the buildings more towards the western side, but it's going to be Catch from Blaze who's going to find Kitsune, and he's going to fall down. He's going to be crawling on the rooftop, but going to be flushed down by drone.
He really tried with those smokes, but unfortunately just did not work. Now we have, of course, the MVP for Navi's team, Matic here. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. He has his own little compound down to the southern side. They both ended up crashing on a Gatka at the same time, but it just did not go Navi's way. So now as a solo, let's see how long they'll be able to survive. Meanwhile, over towards this western side, looks like Konina Power has now found Major Pride finding themselves on the complete opposite side of this zone from where they started. They really want to play up on top of this hill, and it looks like they're going to be able to. Konina Power trying something else.
Yeah, they want to leave, definitely. Meanwhile, Exquisite Decode, as we can see, Sakura and the other, they will fall down actually right as we come here. So Luna's going to be taken down, and got Sirens, they are down. So that's already the 8 teams. So we have lost half the teams inside 17 minutes.
Oh, geez. I mean, we knew that they were going to want to be getting a lot of kills early on, but I guess I'm not surprised by these numbers so far. This zone, by the way, also very difficult. This being on top of Gatka, there's going to be a lot of open spaces, only a couple of buildings, some compounds, and very, very little environmental places that people can play out of. Because we can see, for example, Unique, they have this little bowl here, but there are angles from other people that can spot them out, especially as Big starts getting a couple more knocks on to the members. Unique getting a tiny bit of revenge. But everybody is just so open to each other.
Yeah, it's a complicated one. I mean, Konina Power, they are kind of like between Big and the teams on the southern side. So we can see Team Unique and Pride, Major Pride, also having angles towards Konina Power's location. So it's a very stacked area at the northwest side currently. Utilities going to be Jones, so Mishi, Goldie. There's going to be a Swave trying to put those smokes there. Meanwhile, Konina Power's going to be putting those HE grenades on the smokes, of course, trying to get those kills, to get those flushes happening. But for now, they're still keeping their lives. So let's hope that they can still do the revivals. But Pride, they are still Yen is nading that area. Will that connect? Yeah, Beast is going to be taking damage at least, if nothing else. Swave behind the hay pile. But yeah, and just trying to find anything that moves, but cannot find anything for now. Swave is going to be spotted down, and there we go. The spray is going to be connecting, but doesn't get enough damage.
I like what Team Unique is doing right now up on the northern side. They're very, very spread out. It'll be interesting to see if they'll be able to pick up any of these knocks that Pride are currently getting on big, way too close together. Just a singular nade can really go on ahead and mess up everything for them. And here we go, exactly when Unique needs to go on ahead and start striking as Pride a little bit in the open, so that he can go on ahead and shut down that fight. Meanwhile, they're also getting closer and closer to the zone popping once again, so they have to try and figure out a way for them to enter this next zone.
Yeah, Team Unique, well, they have split it a little bit. We can see Jalu quite far away from the others, but we can see the two duo on this direction. They will just take the buckets and start the rotation. They can escape towards the northern side. And meanwhile, Major Pride is going to be left fighting with Big. Beast is going to be holding these plays. I'm a little bit surprised that Yen, who was actually playing very aggressively on the ridge earlier, I don't think that he actually got any kills. I think he just dealt a lot of damage from there. And Beast is just waiting when the guys will be pushing towards his location. He wants to do something. He just doesn't want to fall down. He wants to take somebody down with him.
And looks like more teams trying to make their way on inside of this zone. At this point, there's only 3 teams not inside the zone, if I'm not mistaken. Gakka's not in, so they're going to be waiting as long as possible before making a move on inside of here, because this new zone is so out in the open that they should really wait until everybody is fighting before they make the move. It does look like Big was also found out. Unique is going to go on ahead and yoink those 5 points for eliminating that team. And now Pride just has to go on ahead and try to stay low, while Unique a little bit higher than them in terms of terrain could just look down on top of them.
Yeah, they have a place. We can see Frozen, meanwhile, going to be trying to find something away from the distance. So next to Rüya Gaming, they have spotted down Team Unique at Jalu. The damage will be dealt both sides. By the way, Frozen takes a minor amount of damage as well. We can see Mind just trying to leave from the northern location there. He needs to move inside. There's a small deep which they can actually play as we move towards Konina Power at Jera. As he's just holding the building, but there's going to be a team crashing. That's going to be Exquisite Decode. Will has taken the damage. Elisio down to 5 HP about, and they're just trying to play the ridge, but there might be somebody on the southern side still, and that's going to be Pride. They will find that one. Will is going to be taken down. That player is going to be so low on HP as well. They just might lose the whole team.
Wow, they ended up helping them out a lot there as Exquisite Decode goes out. That means Konina Power continues to have that little compound, the only one left inside the zone. But that's because, look at that, the people leaving Gakka is starting to go on ahead and go for that crash. That is Supermassive Blaze now, entire 4-man. They had the entirety of Gakka to themselves, so they're able to stay alive now versus a duo. Looks like one of them is in fact going to fall, and they just need to try and toss these nades inside these buildings to at least get one, and then the big push can happen.
Yeah, it's a complicated one. I mean, they have the manpower. They have 3 guys still alive, so they can definitely do it. But because the Power now moving out of the buildings, because Yen fighting Navi-Matic, so one player and the whole Navi's actually take it down. So in the end, Yen will find that kill, and that's going to be nobody else than Matic from Navi, and the team's going to be wiped down. As we can see, Konina Power, they'll just take the buggy, will try to move on side of the building, maybe play the different side of it. And Blaze, they are just, you know, staying on the southern side, so the buildings are kind of like separating these 2 teams.
They're going to stay safe on that little ridge 4 right now. They're going to continue to try to nade and hope that they get a pick. Meanwhile, this next zone about to pop once again. We'll see if they even want this compound still, and the answer, in my opinion, is definitely yes. And there we go. That's exactly what they were looking for. They got to knock on a 1 in that left building. Now they just have to try and get the last one left. Let's see, Xer. Now the only one left for Konina Power as they start making the push.
There we go.
Taken out.
Yeah, Coursera in the end will find that one. So down to 4 teams already, and that's going to be Pride, Blaze, then we have Team Unique, and next through those 4 teams we still have remaining. And we have 2 full stacks that will be Blaze and Team Unique. The others are 2 or 3-man stacks. We can see Unique just trying to kind of like hide from next through the outside of the zone, both of the teams actually. There's only Blaze having some kind of a place on the circle, and everybody else will need to approach the circle.
Exactly. I mean, we can even see Unique trying to go on ahead and take that dip that you went on ahead and mentioned. It's just a little bit concerning because it is more towards the center, that everybody else that also needs to find their way inside of this zone might just start targeting them as they try to make the push. So they're going to have to be really proactive, honestly, to try and hold out both Pride and the other team across from them in this zone to keep them out.
Yeah. Well, Team Unique, they will find a place on the middle. There's definitely a reach that they can play. There's a deep right next to it. So it's a decent place that you can hold. I think the biggest problem currently is for next Rüya, how they will actually find a place. They can maybe try to play the very eastern side of the circle. There's a small hill which they can use as a cover. Meanwhile, we have a little bit different kind of view from the circle and the whole battlegrounds, as we can see that how the ridges are actually working. So this is good. Now next Rüya, you can see what kind of cover they actually have towards Blaze.
Well, at this point next year, this is all that they can do. They have a little cover of the buggy, they have some movement, and they're just going to stay on the very edge for right now. Supermassive Blaze, they might go ahead and benefit by going and sweeping that edge and getting rid of the enemy over there so that they can spread out a little bit more, but they're just going to wait a little bit longer until this zone is officially closed. You can already see some nades going towards them, however. It will do some damage to Frozen. Wait a second, they're already starting to go for the flush, as the rest of them, such as Kess, their MVP, are starting to look more towards Unique.
Yeah, players, they definitely seems to be getting a lot of kills out of this situation. They have great individual performances as well. We saw one of the teams that also falling down, so Major Pride is down. Only Blaze, Team Unique, and next Rüya are remaining, and Ketch still playing this upside angle. Team Unique form a stacks right in front of them, so it's going to be very important that they can actually deal some damage. And next Rüya, they just might be able to surprise from the eastern side, while the other teams are fighting here more towards the middle. They have a more like a direct line of sight.
I'm a little bit worried about Supermassive Blaze. I feel like if they don't go on ahead and get rid of next Rüya very soon, that they're going to be the team that are kind of in the middle. Unique, I'm interested to see if they're going to try to be a little bit more aggressive once they hear this fighting happening. We can already see the movement actually going towards that road as the zone pops right in front of them. Actually, nice nade is going to be taken out one. Looks like Unique is kind of helping out Supermassive Blaze at this point, but if Unique plays this correctly, they could hold out Supermassive Blaze from getting inside of this next zone.
Yeah, there's still placement points in play, so that's going to be, of course, if they can destroy next Rüya, that's going to be 2 more points for Team Unique as well, so they are happy to help. I kind of like the circle, how it actually shifted a little bit more towards the eastern side, because quite often it goes right there on the northern side of the buildings, and then it kind of like ends on the road, and then we have a team on the northern side. They have that hill as a cover, which Team Unique, by the way, still has. But yeah, I mean, this is going to force Blaze at some point to rotate, most probably towards the eastern side, so that should be the end of next to Gaming and Frozen, of course.
I'm just surprised they haven't gone for it just yet. I mean, they don't want to go on ahead and run out in the open and have Frozen hurt them, take down a lot of them. But the thing is, if they don't do that soon, Unique might go on ahead and really hurt them. But it looks like they're actually going to get 2 knocks in Unique. This is actually a chance for them to go on ahead and start pushing over there towards the western side and take out Team Unique before they got all these reses. Singular nade, unfortunately, not quite going to hit. Oh, man, that window of opportunity was actually a little bit too small.
Yeah, I mean, they should definitely try to do something about it, because sooner or later, Team Unique is going to be a problem for the Blaze if they can revive all the players, because they still have the cover. If the circle keeps going on that direction, away from the buildings as it has been going from the Blaze, it's definitely kind of like moving towards Unique's position. And Unique, if they don't have to move, they can hold that cover. So yes, they have to use it, but now Frozen's going to be spotting down Blaze. They will spot him down as well, and the spray is going to get 1. Serach going to be taken down, so finally, Blaze is going to take those hits as well. Frozen with the nade, going to be trying to find a second one. Draws the nade straight towards Tron. Will that connect? No, he's going to fall. That's going to be mine from Team Unique, saving the whole situation. Just 2 teams remaining.
Yeah, Unique instantly started pushing right when they heard those bullets start ringing out. We knew that that was potentially going to happen, and now at this point, Unique definitely has the upper hand. So they still have the western side. Now they have the buildings as well, and Supermassive Blaze just kind of have to deal with it. We can already see that they're just laying prone, trying to figure out a way to stand back up and take on this fight with Team Unique, but they keep getting downed. I think there's only 2 left, and Kesh at this point kind of holding a different angle, while Tron might be going for the first res.
Yeah, the reses are important, but Ketch is going to be definitely on fire. I mean, he has been dealing so a lot of damage already. We have seen this guy getting a lot of damage on the previous tournaments as well. There's a reason why he was chosen as the MVP multiple days in the previous months. But yeah, now the performance needs to come out again. Tries to go for the revival of Kurosera. And meanwhile, of course, we are also Savian can be saved. So Blazes might get a whole form and stack up and running as Unique. They're also having all the players still alive. So this could be all the way till the last second, till the one last line. 4 versus 4 fight.
I can't believe both these teams let each other go on ahead and reset, so they're able to go on ahead and get all of their reses back up. This is still a 4v4. This is absolutely insane. This next zone pulls over towards the eastern side, so Supermassive Blaze doesn't have far to go, but it's going to be Team Unique that has to make the move. And Team Unique, though, they have the advantage in that they're spread out. Supermassive Blaze might not know which direction they're coming from when the answers are coming from everywhere, so they're both going to have to play this carefully.
Yeah, they're just putting a lot of smokes. They're kind of like helping Blaze a little bit as well, if I'm completely honest. But they are Frozen. We can see Jalu. They are just proning there on the smokes. And this is going to be all the way like a snake battle till the end. So they're just trying to figure out, try to find that 1 pixel that's going to give a glimpse of the player. And then they can open the fire. Blaze just holding the smokes because he's Savian kind of like a little bit more on the loose. Same as mine from Unique. We can see Tophies just crossing the road. So now all the players on the same side of the road. And there's about 10 smokes smokes on the ground currently, and Jal's gonna spot one, but it's gonna be Catch immediately fading that one.
Wow, Kesh takes down one. Here we go. Tron's Army taking the push. Two, no way. Two go down. The big push coming through. I think there's only one left now for Unique, and that is up to Frozen. Looks like he will take down Kesh, instantly going for the flush. He knows he needs that point, and he gets another one as well. No way. It was a 2v1, but the match has ended, and it looks like, unfortunately for Team Unique, it doesn't go towards them, but it will go.
Papara, Supermassive Blaze, they will get the chicken dinner from the first game. And I mean, this format, this is definitely something very aggressive. What do you think, Span? Did you enjoy?
I did enjoy that, actually. I mean, a lot of early fighting happening. A lot of people, I gotta say, it was a little bit more patient than I was expecting. People ended up taking a little bit more strategy by staying kind of quietly in those towns until they really had the advantage to go ahead and take that strike.
Well, anyways, I think it's going to be time to ask this from the panel. So, guys, take it away.
Yeah, it was kind of what we expected. I know you highlighted a possibility of a slower paced game one, but we saw a couple of hot drops on Novo with the side of Major Pride and Goddess Sirens. Goddess Sirens quickly swam away in towards the mainland. We saw the battle in Pachinki between Surreal and Vodafone Giants. Then we saw Team Unique just playing around and moving around and getting kill after kill. It was a hell of a game, Tarzan.
It was great. I can see the teams are allowing themselves to take more fights, but you can still see some of these usual gameplay, right? In competitive play, they delay the looting phase just to go back to the favorites drop spot and stuff like that. So I want to see how they adapt even further, right? But you can see a lot of those aggression did come through like we expected.
You know, I was saying before that I normal hitting, maybe like the first match, and then match two they'll start to really, you know, hone in on the scoring system. But you know, forget me, screw me, because they went all in right away. Constant fire. I mean, we were in like the first couple of minutes of time, like we were the first couple zones still, and we already lost out on teams. Like ridiculous that the teams are just going all out against each other.
I do appreciate the fact though that when we got to the final kind of 2 to 3 teams, we did start to see that normal slow pace finish because the teams recognized that, look, the dust has settled, most of the players are down, there is still the element of placing points on board. We're not as much as kills do to bring a high level amount of points. Grabbing that chicken dinner is just, you know, hey, why not, we'll go for the win. So we did see that normalized play when it came to kind of Unique, Papara, Supermassive Blaze, and then kind of towards the end with the side of Konina Power.
And what else do we expect from this team, right? They have those huge chicken dinners even on the European Championship. But I have been liking this so much, guys, because I like talking about finding the line, you know, between aggressive play and sometimes going too far and it becomes a little bit disrespectful. But some of these teams have really need to, you know, find that line again. Here they just get those high risk, high reward, right? So they're seeing a new side of themselves, to argue, to say the least.
I really like the use of the smokes there, actually, out of SMB, out of Supermassive Blaze.
Yeah.
They kept like one player completely out of the fight while they were attacking towards the other side. But we can see our points. Remember, it's not 1 point per kill. It's 3 points minimum per kill, but depending on which zone you kill them in, if it's before zone 2, you get 6 points. Before zone 3, you get 4 points. And we see Papara, Supermassive Blaze with 39 kill points, 15 placement points. They got 54 points in the first match.
And okay, right now, they're 13 points behind Major Pride, who only got 8 placement points, but they got 33 kill points. But like you mentioned, with the points per kill, that can quickly be caught up by the majority of these teams. Team Unique having a much more settled game, Tarzan, with that balance of 12 placement points and 25 kill points. I liked how they rocked around on the western side of the map.
Yeah, I really like it, but you can see this is the title stats that we only see in this PMSC so far. You know, 1 placement point both for Unicorns of Love and the Sanhok big, but look at all, like 22 and 19 kill points respectively. You can see is a complete different game right here.
Well, remember, If you finish in 16th place, you lose $100. If you finish in 15th place, you lose $70. 14th place is 50. If you have less than 2 kills, you lose $50. But you can only lose a max amount of $150 per game, starting from a $2,500 at the beginning of the event. So we can see here, Conqueror, S2G, no kills, minus money, so they lose 50 each. But also, because you're in 16th place, Conqueror gonna lose 150 total. S2G in 15th place lose 70 plus 50. That's 130 they lose total in their prize pool overall. And we can see our top players in the first match of the day. And Ketch, I mean, like we said, he was the MVP of PMPL Turkey, and he's gonna be the MVP of the first match.
Yeah, and I'm glad kind of Copter mentioned that during the cast, highlighting Ketch and what he can pull off. But Tron as well, towards that last fight, he got a double knock, which really helped seal the deal for Papara, Supermassive plays. Let's not forget Mind from Team Unique. He has mind over matter, and he got himself 4 kills in that game.
Lovely one as well. Like from, sorry, like the sort of discrim, I really want to talk about this player because I was worrying about this team, right? They're pulling new stars players into Major Pride. We wonder whether it would work out when it comes to synergy, but I mean, from this game, you can see some things working already.
The thing is about Major Pride and just about CIS in general, right, Imperium, we got to see how strong this region is in PUBG Mobile. Bad Bulls, 3rd place team overall within the event, and this team, I mean, just came out the gate swinging, really showing. They're also from PMCO. Like there's so much talent in the region that Major Pride can easily contest against the best, and we can see, I mean, not living up to it when it comes to damage there, but still putting up some pretty damn good points, and obviously keeping their, I think their money alive. I feel like they haven't lost anything from this one. I feel like we haven't had Supermassive Blaze lose any money from this one, so that's a good sign for them. But maybe a bad sign for us, because our prediction game that was going on, the community up against the talent, and it didn't look too good for us, but at least looked better than a certain person at the bottom of the list, Konina Power. So we're doing okay. The community was with me on Navi, but Big and Exquisite Decode didn't perform as well.
Wait, technically I'm the one that scored the point out of us. I scored a point because Navi went out earlier on. Konina Power went out pretty early. Next Rüya, my choice. He got the point. I'm carrying us. No wonder my neck is sore.
Konina Power is highlighted, so Professor Tarzan actually wins out in the end. He was able to top points. Sorry, Imperium, but talent do win this time. So community, make sure next time we do our voting challenge, you guys get in there and predict the correct team. Remember, if you guys are correct, you get a code in the chat that you can redeem for very special rewards. We're gonna head to a short little break here. When we come back, we're getting things ready for our second match of the day, so don't go anywhere.
That team was the first one from the Western European region to beat out others for the invite for PMGC. And this was just the beginning.
All the 4 players alive and they're different on these final circles. To the bottom of the hill now, isolated. Meku swings around the side of the rock lid, low on HP, but Navi taking more punishment. GK brings them into a 2 versus 1.
This CIS squad is craving for a chance to prove their skill level once again. Wait and see. These guys desperately crave victories and glory. Is their new captain up for the task?
Идет на добивание своего противника. Рафлан и Компоты замечают нюхевые сейчас. 3-я строчка. И я так понимаю, мы уже можем радоваться.
The young Russian squad had some slight changes in the roster and landed 11th at PMPL CIS Season 2 Finals. Will they be able to regain their performance from the past?
6 минутами ранее. Как Экским сейчас будут выходить с позиции команды Team Unique.
Welcome to PUBG Mobile Masterclass. Today we will take a look at the game strategy from real professionals. Let's take a look at one of the best German teams and what they managed to show at the PMPL Season 2 finals. Big. Big is a team that boasts a large variety of tactics and strategies that never stop to amaze us at every tournament. On the second day of the PMPL finals, Big showed us how to act properly when enemies are on the way. First, to confuse the enemy, you need to split up with your team. Hence, the enemy team wouldn't know where to expect fire from. One player stays in cover ready to ambush. Other players are trying to get closer to the enemy as soon as possible. This way you can rotate safely and take the enemy out. Another good one from Big was on Sanhok when they were attacked suddenly. Big also decided to split in two. Thus, it would be more difficult for the enemies to understand where the attack might be coming from. Such an aggressive split made it possible to instantly retaliate the enemy attack and even kill two opponents. After that, it is important not to overdo it and go back to your team. One of the big strategies teaches us how important and useful it is to split when opponents start attacking suddenly. That's it for now. Join our stream and find out more at PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Europe. See you on the battlegrounds.
All right, we are moments away from getting underway with our second match. But gentlemen, I'm curious if you have any unique thoughts about the first one. Again, it was just a different format, different prize, and how it works. But I'm really happy to see how much action we had kick off in the very first few minutes of the game.
I just think it really kind of unleashed the shackles of some of these teams. Like, I saw at one point Team Big were kind of chasing some of the next Rüya players just above that kind of Watertown area, and we just saw a lot more aggression, a lot more proactivity. You can see once again the leaderboards proving to be a lot more victorious when it comes to the kill points. Papara, Supermassive Blaze, and Unique Tarzan showing up in that sense.
Yeah, massively. And I think like Konina Power being there shows that they are not afraid to take the drop spot as well. And I love this game mode because it can actually translate back into the usual point system that we see, right? We see some of these teams make the macro plan based on playing safe early on, right? We start fighting maybe from phase 3-4. I'm sorry, you need to be recalibrated and be used to, you know, defending if someone really pull that aggressive move on you at the start of the game.
I mean, also look at the discrepancy in points. I mean, I know you can get first place and get 50 points to receive here, but 54 to 18 between first and eighth. Like, if you have a decent day, it's gonna be really hard for teams to catch up to. Likewise, if you have a bad couple of games, then you're gonna be looking very far behind. We already have a couple of teams with 0 points in total. Let's actually get an idea of our second page if we can swap on over to that to give you all an idea of where our teams currently do stand. But you got Papara, Supermassive Blaze, you got Unicorns of Love, Navi. That's 3 teams right there participating in PMGC who are on that front page.
Yeah, and looking in towards that second page, you're dead right, and I'm to be fair, I'm glad you highlighted that the points discrepancy between first and let's say 12th, which is Vodafone Giants, that's a good 46 points or so, give or take 46, 47 points. And yeah, okay, it's 6 points per kill in the first couple of circles, but if you are that more passive playstyle team, like you know, Tarzan said, you need to kind of write the rule book again, and you really need to switch up your mentality, and that can be hard to do, right? Because there's certain pattern that teams like to play, and they don't really change it that easily, but it needs to be done.
I think it's very different when it comes to the mindset, right? Some teams we think, hey, we don't want to lose our usual style, so we're just going to play our usual game. But there are certain teams who would just take this as a challenge and say, you know what, we're going to try to play with these rules and see what we can find through this journey.
Yeah, and reminder for all of you at home, you're looking at the audience in the background. if you guys are typing in chat and if you're active enough, you're actually going to get your image put into the crowd. So make sure you guys do that. Again, you can kind of try to get your friends together, spell out, follow J Kaplan over on Instagram. That'd be perfect. I would love to see that. I don't think it's going to happen though, unfortunately. But yes, I mean that's gonna be it here for our standings, at least at the end of the first match. We do have Miramar coming up next. Keep in mind, it's gonna be our second match of the day, followed up by Sanhok. And again, at the very end, if you haven't missed out on this earlier on, we're going over to Erangel Arcane version of it, and that's gonna be very interesting. You're not gonna want to miss that. I'm sure Copter and Sven Cargo are very excited to bring you all that action to cover. I know we're excited to talk about it as well.
Yes.
But we have to wait a little bit of time until then. But that leads me to wonder, well, maybe we're not gonna do it just yet. I was thinking of predictions again. But I'm also curious if we do have our current balance of the teams, considering we have had one match played. It'd be really cool to see who's lost out on money, who's been able to maintain their money. But either way, Miramar next. I think that's going to be the interesting one. I think that's going to probably be one of the slower ones.
Yeah.
Imagine Sanhok, though, with this point system on kills. My God.
Oh, Jason, I was thinking about it like while that game almost happened. I was like, oh my God, Sanhok is going to be absolutely crazy. It's going to be wild. But I'm glad you touched upon with Miramar, right? And how kind of big the map is, how slow paced it is for the most part. If you're going to kind of push up on a team, because you tend to have like bigger distances, you've really got to execute that, you know, efficiently and set that up. So you really need to be kind of, to me, 2 steps ahead.
Really? You know what?
Are you ready to see? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep talking over you because you know what? It's all about money. Money speaks. I don't care about your thoughts when he's talking about with Miramar. I care about what we're going to see here. Teams who have lost out on money already in this event.
Man, like this is actually quite crazy. Like when you think about, usually you just focus on the points, right? Like sometimes you have some teams having more points than you when it comes to placement or kills, but money is a different story. Yeah, it's kind of linked to it a little bit, but it's not completely the same. As you can see, some of these teams are losing money already. We can see Virtus.pro, we thought they were good. They need to really hold their game, hold their horses strong right here.
Well,
yeah,
they're a bear. So hold their bear strong, I think is what you were looking for. Konina Power can hold their horses. Unicorns Love will hold their unicorns. Imperium, go ahead.
Okay. Thanks for that thought, Jason. Yeah, and it's just the fact that the money that's being lost from the 16th, 15th, and 14th place teams is added then to the that Squid Game S to that kind of total prize pool, which is now 2,680. So. This is really interesting. It's going to build up each and every single game. You're going to see that money become bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it's going to be distributed, and you're going to have that one team taking it pretty much all. It's going to be exciting.
Just to clarify really quickly as well, it's any money lost from the teams that gets put into that prize pool, not just the bottom 3 teams. It's if you lose any money, goes into that prize pool, and if you're the #1 team at the end of the event, you get all of that money. But that doesn't mean the teams that are lower on don't get any money, right? You're guaranteed a minimum amount, at least for participating, because of only being able to lose 150 max. There's only 12 in total matches to play, so you guys can calculate that at home and how that works out. But gentlemen, I think we're getting into our prediction time here momentarily as we're about to load up here onto Miramar. Remember, you at home in the community can be voting as well. We have hashtags you can follow. As long as you type the hashtag and the code for the team, you can get your predictions in. And the community, if they are right, will be getting a special code put into the chat in the next match. But you can see here, hashtag S2G if you think they're going to win, hashtag SMB if you think Supermassive Blaze, etc. And then when we get our predictions in, well, technically, Imperium did do the best, technically, so we'll have him go first here of who you think's going to do well.
Okay, I'm going to go for hashtag SMB. It's Miramar, right? Papara, Supermassive Blaze, they're the kings.
UOL.
Really quickly.
UOL.
UOL. Oh, wow, you were really quick on that one. I'm going to save my prediction because we're about to fly on into Miramar with our 2 lovely commentators of Copter and Sven Cargo.
Hello and welcome back for our second match here. We're going to be on Miramar. As I span Cargo, with me is Copter. And after that very exciting first game, a massive amount of points for the people in first place so far, over 50 points. That is absolutely disgusting. We're going to see you can catch up to that now with this match.
Yep, there we go. The plane coming from the, well, right next to Tierra Bronca, heading towards between El Pozo and Monte Nuevo. So yeah, there's definitely more space on Miramar, so we'll see if there's going to be any hot drops happening, because we can see two teams landing around the El Azahar. I guess the teams kind of like found out the power of the multipliers at the earlier zones. And just to clarify, I was checking with the admins how the points are actually calculated. So the double points, for example, the 6 points, so as soon as the zone 2 counter starts, then the point amount is going to change. So that's how much time you have at the start.
Okay, well now we know. Now everybody knows, and it looks like are a couple of people that are dropping on top of each other already, and they're gonna have to wrap it up quickly because this zone once again went down to the southern side, away from that plane path. A lot of people are gonna have to move.
Yeah, definitely. It's a southern circle, but I like the southern circles in Miramar, definitely. I think the terrain is like more lovely on that area. But yeah, of course, a lot of teams will have to move, but that hasn't been a problem in the past on the PUBG Mobile either. I think teams actually have been quite nicely finding the places. But hey, guys, support your creative expression without the limits with Xiaomi's 11T's Cinemagic Power.
I'm interested to see what exactly is going to be happening in these big cities. You could definitely see El Azahar, Pecado, Monte Nuevo, all of those cities so far have teams inside of them. Even La Cobriera, so many hot drops already. Okay, usually that is expected, you know, coming into a tournament like the first couple of days, like the first match for the first time. Teams don't 100% know where each other are dropping. I mean, obviously they've competed against each other before, so they usually have some tendencies. But for this one, they definitely seem to have kind of changed up how they want to be playing this to go ahead and get in these early fights to get those 6 points. And it already looks like, unfortunately for Unique, one of them is going to go ahead and fall because we have Exquisite here starting to make the push on them.
Yeah, one knock happening on the other side. So Team Unique, and they will try to get the revenge. They will try to get the trade, but not going to be working. So Tofis will find that angle with the UMP from the window, but will not find it. But it's going to be Frozen who's going to fight Daddy, and Daddy has been flushed immediately as well. So that's the player completely lost from the other side as Exquisite Decode. They have lost one, and Team Unique, they have one player crawling down. Or you can see Alicio is going to be trying to get a second one, but it's going to be Will who's going to get Tofis instead.
There we go. Another one goes down, tries to go for that flush. They know how important these kills are, so there we go. They will be able to pick up one. Now there's still only 2 members there left for Unique. The push is still continuing to go through, but Exquisite has to kind of slow down for a little bit because they also only have 2 up. Here we go now, just playing around this building. I'm a little bit concerned because they're not together. They're a little bit separated, but here we go. Reznov with the push through the building. He might be able to turn this into something, but unfortunately his teammate goes down. He can't go ahead and get the trade.
Yeah, they just closed the door on the right time. They know the location, but he knows that mine is going to be hiding there, gets a pre-fire on the corner of the doorway, but doesn't find the player. Going to be trying to figure it out. Will take some cover from the stairs, but that's not going to be working out. That's going to be mine finding Resno and Exquisite Decode. They're going to fall down. And Team Unique, they will make exactly what we spoke on the first game. They will get that 29 points, as meanwhile Beast is getting Milky away from the major pride. So the flash will happen. But anyways, a great start, definitely, for Team Unique, getting 29 points.
That is an insane number. That's usually the number that we usually see in just a win for some teams in an entire match. So that's absolutely disgusting. There we go. Looks like Seven's going to be able to go ahead and get a point for his team as well for S2G. But another one is pushing. Has to go ahead and make this damage on him. And he will get the second one as well. Wait a second. Okay, he's not going to go ahead and do anything a little bit rash now. He will play this carefully. The rest of his team now starting to run on over to help him out. Focus goes down too. It's just down to Sebi left for Vodafone Giants. There we go, but Timber a little bit overzealous. He'll go down, but the push comes through S2G. There's just too many of them, so Vodafone Giants go down next.
And that's another 29 points for the S2G. And I really love how Professor Tarzan pointed this whole thing on the studio. He did the math. And I really love when we have math that we can actually trust. So thank you, Tarzan. Thank you from your calculations. And Max, if you're watching this, take notes. Take notes.
Man, bullying each other for our math skills. I just don't trust caster math, you know? I just need to see the definite amount. Anyway, it looks like the other fight that's happening in Cobb is going to be popping off very shortly here as Navi just starting to stand on up. Will start taking on to Sirens. So let's see how Sirens are going to play against this. Unfortunately, Flagloria down. Looks like Luna is not going to fare too well either. But Tigsy will take some damage, but instantly running for that cover. Yeah, got to punch him out, though. You need those 6 points.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that the teams have now figured out that they have to get those points at the early. They have sort of see the scoreboard. They see how some teams actually get a huge amount of points. So a lot of teams, two of the teams, they have already guaranteed those 29 points. So I think Navi wants to do the same as well. Luna is going to be flushed down as well. So Matic has been knocked. No, actually has taken the damage. Going to be moving definitely. So he's not knocked. And Sakura just moving there somewhere on the towards the fields, as we can see, trying to hide from the Navi players. We'll just run away and we'll try to find some cover. Meanwhile, in Pecado, still we do have also Blaze and Conqueror. They are still having a fight here. So either of these teams, they still have the time to get that 29 points as well, because we can see the counter on the side, that's 1 and 6 minutes. So as soon as the second phase counter starts rolling, that's when you only get 4 points per kill. And then it goes to 3, phase number 3, then it's just a normal 3 points per kill.
3 points per kill is still
Yeah.
still insane. It's still insane that compared to the usual 1 point per kill. So especially because the placement points are basically the same as well. So really this time, if teams usually go on ahead and go for placement point in a competition, a tournament like this, you cannot do that anymore. You have to basically change how you play your game. And the teams that usually go on ahead and are a little bit more aggressive, this is where they're going to 100% thrive. Curious to see if they're going to continue to be a little bit more aggressive or if they're just going to be playing how they usually are. And finally, we can start seeing some people start making a move towards that zone as well.
Yeah, we can see actually some kind of a crash happening in the Chumachera area, so we can see that's Virtus.pro actually, and they will find there's 2 other teams on the area as well. We can see Major Pride and Virtus.pro, they are coming in the same building. We can see Discrim just hiding there on the rooftops. 2 players from Virtus.pro, they're trying to find something that they can actually shoot, try to make sure that the building is going to be safe. There's no teammates from Discrim. I mean, they're nearby, but they're not right next to the building, so he's completely alone on the situation. And there we go, they will find him. And that's going to be skills. Getting Discrim down, that's going to be a flush happening immediately. So they saw the player from the distance and they just wanted to check down the first floor that there's no proning players, no snakes hiding on the first floor before they will go all the way to the top and get that 1 kill more.
Yeah, but they're going to pick that up. Looks like Konina Power also finding themselves in a little bit of a pickle, going for the res right now. This is some interesting terrain to find yourself caught up on. Konina Power, like on the very sheer cliff of a hill with the quite a few members, unfortunately for Nextria Gaming, stuck in a little shack. Like, they're completely trapped. They're kind of under the complete control of Konina Power at this point. They're in control of when they can leave or not leave, and one just needs to get close enough to just toss a singular nade inside of that window.
Yeah, I think those guys, they are in a point that they can just start dancing inside of the shack. That would be the right thing to do at this point, to do some entertainment. There's going to be damages. We can see T going closer, has the utilities as well. Let's see what he can actually build from here. Has the UMP, and then that's going to go straight from the window, and that should be right on the money, and they will get out, but the spray is going to be too strong.
Yeah, well, that is exactly how we expected to go out. Now that all that is left is Nihat here for Nextria Gaming. Now he's up on top of the hill. He can go ahead and kind of reverse this situation for them if he really wanted to. Gonna go ahead and start looking down on Konina Power. Let's see if he can get some revenge from his teammates that were taken down right as this next zone will in fact pop, pulling up a little bit more towards the north. Let's see, though, what exactly he's gonna do as they start exiting the shack.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation. Definitely Nihat has the chance to kind of give his revenge, and now he's trying to take that spray. Will he be connecting? At least one player is going to fall. What is the answer? But will he get a second one? No, it's going to be actually Konina Power who's going to find that kill from the distance, so that's going to be traded in a way, and will be flushing down the whole team. So that's going to be more points, but that's not going to be the 29 points because it's already phase number 2. Though I think they got the 6 points from the early kills, and meanwhile Unicorns of Love, they're just jumping down from that hill. It's almost like counting sheep while you're sleeping.
It really is. They're flying, not driving. Down the hill they go past Chumacera. I wonder if Big's going to take some shots towards them. At this point, Chumacera is on the very, very edge of zone. So if they take this fight, that means that their entry into this next zone is going to be a little bit slow. So it looks like they're just going to go ahead and let them go by. But honestly, there's a ton of teams in this southwestern corner of this new zone. So we still might start seeing some people run into each other.
Yeah, this area where the zone actually shifted earlier, so it kind of like hard shifted on the northern side, so it's like including all the major buildings and well, almost all the cities as well. So I would say that it's definitely an area where it's easy to hide. You can get a compound quite easily, so you don't have to fight from the existence on that area. A lot of space. So it shouldn't be a major problem. But the stacks, for example, on the western side, I mean, people are getting out of Chumachera, Peak, Unicorns of Love. We can see also S2G on that area. So something might definitely happen there because they might be trying to focus on the same buildings. So they have to be careful with the rotations, and that, you know, still 4 points per kill at this stage. So that's still a lot of points.
Exactly. And actually, because of that, we were talking about, are they going to be running into each other? And the answer is yes. Unicorns of Love, just big push towards big. They got one knock, and it looks like they're going to see if they can just get that confirm and spot out any more. Of course, at this point, everybody is kind of wanting to go on ahead and start identifying those peak positions that's going to provide them the biggest advantage for the rest of this game, right? And one of them is definitely this mountain that we can see Supermassive Blaze already on top of, and that is exactly why Conqueror is probably trying to find their way up as well. So another team is going to have to be careful, especially because they're completely out in the open right now if they're trying to continue to get up here. So if anybody backfills them into Picado, they could be in trouble.
Yeah, Solus, well, that doesn't find that last bullet, actually. That's a close one, definitely. I mean, he definitely had a chance to get the player down, but unfortunately, Stray didn't connect, and there we go. The Peace Hub, who's going to find Solus instead, but nope, that's not going to be connecting enough either. So both teams will kind of like get away from that one. So we can see Surreal Esports and the Fire Flux. They will find the distance between the teams, and they can kind of like start the long distance war if they want to do it. But it seems that the Surreal Esports, they want to leave in some way, and the Fire Fox, they will just, of course, try to connect something, but they are using the cover. They want to keep the cover, so they are not like going too aggressively on that.
Nope, gotta go on ahead and continue to play this smart, even with the increased kill points. You know, you want to go on ahead and still stay alive for as long as possible because, I mean, that 15 placement point's still nothing too shabby. You can still go on ahead and do wonders for the kill count that they're able to grab. The next zone going to shift as well, and even further towards the north. So still this southwestern edge where all these teams are is going to continue to be really difficult for people to make these rotations through. It's going to probably be like that for a very long time, especially since this next zone, not too many compounds, a lot of terrain to play out of, at least has a lot of ridges.
Yeah, we can definitely see the kind of like the shift on the gameplay because Miramar is like more open, more like a bigger map in a way. So
Yeah.
I think on the last game at this point we have lost more teams definitely. So now we have kind of like lost only 3 teams. That's still a lot compared to the normal matches. But the losing 3 at this point, it is definitely less than what we had on the Erangel at the same time of clock.
Yeah, Erangel, a little bit easier to go on ahead and find people and take those fights. Miramar, there's just so many ridges, so many small dips. The terrain is just way more insane dynamic, able to play out of. So that's why people are still alive. And it still seems like some people are just deciding to take this a little bit more slow. Don't get me wrong, there's still a ton of people that are running into each other, instantly taking fights, but seems like maybe a little bit more worry about the placement. We can see Conqueror, Supermassive Blaze still being very patient. And on the north, right below San Martin, Konina Power, versus Navi. This is a fight I want to see.
Yeah, Teak definitely tries to dodge the whole situation. We can see Evo Station pocket the Kitsune. Will get that nade on his hand. Knows that the Evo Station is going to be there. Going to throw that on the other side. Might not get the damage with that nade. And there we go. Teak is going to be with the vehicle as well as Meku will get away from that deep. They are trying to get on the ridge line as Teak will spot down Meku. Will get the straight towards him, but doesn't connect at all. Evo Station is going to be getting some comfort. So we can see Azure actually getting right next to him. So Konina Power, they have 3 guys on the situation. So that's going to be a pretty fair fight.
Interested to see what else is going to happen down there. There's only a 3v4, the other one a little bit far away, so we'll have to see if they'll be able to get it a little bit closer. Meanwhile, we can see that another fight starting to pop up. We'll have to see, as both these fights are happening at the same time, who's going to go on ahead and be taken out first, because placement points still a big factor in this. Let's see, though, Evo Station taking a little bit of damage. Navi, because of their split, he can't really go on ahead and overpeak and get Kitsune down, because he's currently being protected by Meku. So this is a little bit of a hard situation for Konina Power, especially since they have to wait for their 4th member all the way down to the southern side to catch up to them for right now. A little bit worried since this is a 1v1.
Yeah, it's complicated situation for both of the teams. This 1 versus 1 can actually solve a lot of things. That's going to be Teak falling down in the Matic. We'll find that one. Konina Power, they have the players on the speed, but they're slowly losing them one by one. Console takes the damage. Evo Station is going to be taken down at the same time by Tix. A lot of damage and just one player, Gonzo, staying alive. 5 HP and Navi, they have the scopes on him. Can he actually get away from the whole situation? I don't think that he can save the team. So the best thing is try to leave somehow for now. But I mean, Navi, they're just watching the area, gonna be hiding behind the vehicle, healing out, and now this damage will come. Gonna heal on enough damage, and that's gonna be Matic getting Gonzo and Konina Power. The horses, they are out of the fields.
Navi, they just wanted those kills. That was insane. So they got 3 points for each of those and the 5 points for the elimination. That was just quick right when the fight actually ended up happening. They just weren't grouped up enough is what I think for Konina Power. And now we can see this next zone has popped again. Oh man, prediction correct in that it's just going to go completely out in the open. This is going to be a really difficult zone for the majority of these teams to be able to play out of. So if they want points, now is the time to go ahead and go for it. We are going to see a lot of fighting outside of the zone as they just try and rack up their points at this point.
Yeah, it's interesting how the game actually somehow, I think there was a slow moment. I mean, if you can call that slow for a while, but now kind of like teams are finding each other's again for the second or the third time. So a lot of action happening on the edges, as we can see. Conqueror just moving inside. They have the compound on the southern side of the circle. That is a pretty good place. And the whole graveyard is actually free. So you can use those buildings. They are completely wide and open. So it's just a matter of time when somebody actually will go there. But Blaze, they have spotted out the compound from here, and we can see Unicorns of Floor watching it from the northern side as well.
Supermassive Blaze, here we go, starting to toss out some utility. Unicorns of Love's trying to go for some sort of a quick res before they make the push. What it looks like it will go ahead and be successful. Cash, that is not a spot you want to go ahead and stop out of. Unicorns of Love instantly taking him down. So let's see, Supermassive Blaze, one up on top of the hill now. Tron still in the compound. This is not looking too good for them. And it looks like at this point, they're just going to go ahead and kind of lay low, take this a little bit patiently. No way, what zone? Gets another knock. Unicorns of Love, they're just absolutely going for this. 2 kills, about to be 3, 1 left. But they just got to get in the car and go at this point because this zone is so far away and this phase 4 damage is not fun to be in.
Yeah, John is just waiting. He's going to be waiting for the opportunity to drop somebody down from the Unicorns of Floor, but they're quite far away from the compound already. Because a unique getting a battle with the Fire Flux. That's going to be a race falling down. Goddess Sirens, they have flushed down as well, so the whole team has been taken down. Meanwhile, as Mind wants to get the flush, the nade is going to come straight from Soulless towards it, and that's the end.
That was a very nice nade. Just completely shut that down from that tree. Of course, the other members from Soulless's team are going to have to get prepared because there's still a couple of people right in front of them, but we'll see that in a moment. Meanwhile, Navi is still trying to make their move over on the right side. Looks like Papara, actually, Supermassive Blaze will be taken down. That southern side just completely deadly. It's super difficult to go ahead and play out of. And there you go. That's the fight that we were talking about as well. A lot happening at the same time.
Yeah, Navi is going to spot on S2G. I think they just have a 1 player on the situation, and there we go. Matic Spray is going to be connecting, and where's the final shot? Doesn't happen for now. Then it's going to be coming from Tixi. Both sides are nading. They try to deal the damage towards the vehicle. It's going to be burning already. It should be exploding any second now. Actually, it already has exploded, so it's just burning, and we can see Tixi going for it here, but he actually has the time to put the heals on, and there we go. The knock's going to happen, but the teammates might be able to do something from the distance, but no, Tixi just wants to get the flush happening, and that's the, at the same time, also end of major pride as we can see S2G getting a kill on them.
This is the first time now where I feel like finally everybody's a tiny bit more spread out, even though as I say that and you look at that mini map, there's literally 4 different teams right next to each other. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that as well. See what Navi, Unique, S2G, we got a couple more teams that are trying to figure out a place to play. Next zone gonna pop this constant movement. And again, back to Graveyard. A lot of solos here in the center. They're gonna have to hold their ground.
Yeah, there might be space now, but the next game is Sanhok, so we can forget the space, so let's enjoy while we have it. But yeah, Soulless takes the damage because he Wolf on the top of the hill as well. Virtus.pro, they are of course trying to connect because he Wolf defending the top of the hill. There's going to be damage coming towards him. They are definitely coming for him. Wade is going to be pushing all the way on the reach. Wolf finds him, deals the damage. Can he get the knock? Yes, he can. A second one is going to be open for the taking, and he gets it. Wolf gets the second. The blue is going to do the job in the end. Actually, Mekyu is going to do the job in the end. But still, I mean, great solo performance, getting 2 guys down. It was so close.
Fireflug, that was an insane performance. Unfortunately, it looks like both of the reses are going to happen, but oh man, that was just a great play with that 2v1 there. The reses are going to be happening though. Virtus.pro are going to be able to get down that mountain eventually, and Navi, they're probably very happy about that as the rest of these guys sending it into a couple bulls now that we keep mentioning. There's not too many places left for these teams to be able to play unless they start going for a crash.
And Navi's actually controlling the middle and the north of the circle, so it's just the south and something on the east as well. 7 teams remaining and 21 players, so it's not much. Phase 5, 20 minutes on the clock already, so that's well, less than normal still, the team amount at this stage. But we can see S2G, they are just getting inside from the southern side. Navi kind of like they're holding the lines because the Conqueror, they will have to move away, and they also have to worry about the Unicorns of Love on the western side of them. But also it's going to be SR, Surreal Esports, they will find the players, and Navi at the same time, they will fight the straight towards S2G.
Nice 2 knocks inside of that little shack there as well. Navi just getting so many knocks as of right now. S2G not looking too good. Just down to 1 person left. Let's see if Seven can go ahead and pull something out of this, especially as Unicorns of Love are going to be creeping up from behind. But back even further to the south, we can see, man, so many teams. Conqueror starting to get in a fight with Surreal Esports. Navi now going to take this as an opportunity to get a little bit higher in the center to see if they can participate in all the fights around them.
Yeah, 1 team less, S2G taking down on the southern side. Let's see what Surreal Esports can do about Mishi. I guess he's going to be trying to nade towards Conqueror. That's the idea. And we can see the players are just behind that hill. So the nades might do the damage, but you have to get them right on point. And it's not easy. The guys are not peeking that easily. We can see Unicorns of Love getting Tixie down. So Navi takes the damages from the distance as Unicorns of Love. They are entering the circle. And they will find that one player. He was actually quite separated from the others. So they might not be able to do the revival.
That's very true. So we'll have to wait and see Conqueror. Let's see Mishi now is trying to play beside that little vehicle here. You can see that the rest of them, Redox starting to get the heals as well. No way. It looks like Unique starting to get involved actually with Surreal Esports and that fight. Unicorns of Love shooting a bunch of people in the back as well. The zone goes to the north again. This is really going to be a fight, I think, between Navi right now. Got to go on ahead and wipe out Virtus.pro, and then they just have to hold out the rest of the people on the southern side. I think this is a really strong game for Navi.
Yeah, it looks to be. I mean, they have such a great placement currently on the game. All the other teams, they're outside of the circle as well, and, you know, need to fight with each other, so that's kind of like helping out, definitely. Meanwhile, this whole situation with the Conqueror and the Surreal Esports, I mean, this needs to be settled. There's only one team who's going to walk away from here, maybe even no team at all. I mean, somebody might be finding the last kills from the distance, but, I mean, there's no way that these 2 teams can actually live in peace on this area. And the Unicorns of Love, they're just waiting on the side as well. We can see GK first and Wood Zone here. They're not so far away. They have the angle, so they can definitely do something about Conqueror if they don't go for the Surreal Esports.
Exactly. Here we go. The vehicles are starting to get used as well, starting to make it even closer into Graveyard. Honestly, at this point, I wonder if it would just be better just go crash into Graveyard and see if they can just take on Navi, not deal with Conqueror behind them, but they're going to stay. It looks like that you can hear the bullets in the distance as now Navi pushed the rest of Virtus.pro. They know that they need to get rid of this last person so that they can effectively play the rest of this game.
Yeah, Skills is going to be getting the utilities towards him. We can see Arcane falling down. Conqueror's going to be getting something happening. Redos goes for the spray. Going to be finding a player from the top of that hill. But it's going to be happening the other way around this time. And Conqueror's going to be taken down. And Navi's going to be trying the third party on the whole situation from the distance. Long distance shots are happening. Kichu is going to find Arcane. And Mishi's going to find Peace Hub at the same time as well. And Joy falls down as well. So a lot of things are happening. Skills is trying to survive here. I mean, right next to the tombs. He's just, well, gets the spray actually.
Nice hit onto Frozen there. Unfortunately does not get the knock, but here we go. Prepping the nade skills, knows that he needs to go on ahead and take down this last member of Unique here if he's hoping to make it further inside of this game. There we go, even more damage back and forth, but unfortunately he just can't do the damage to the fence, it seems like. And because of that, it's actually going to not be Frozen who gets the kill, but Navi. Virtus.pro eliminated. Now we have 3 teams left. We still have that solo now inside of the Graveyard. We have 2 members left for Unicorns of Love, and of course, Navi, all still alive up towards that northern side. They have the hard cover, they have the building, 3 up, they have the numbers as well. Still could be a Navi game, but we'll see if they can prove us wrong.
Yeah, I really love the kind of like fight on the fence line. That was guys spraying through the fence at the same time. But the Frozen is going to fall down on the blue, and that's the end of Unique. They will get the 3rd place point, so that's going to be still 10 points for them. And now it's just Navi and, of course, Unicorns of Love. They will be still here alive and kicking. Navi has the better placement, has the higher ground from the rooftop of the Graveyard building. So we can see Meku and Matic trying to utilize that one. Kitsu's going to go for the flank or some kind of, well, alternative angle, I would say. It's not really a flank. He's just going to be moving straight towards them and will want to go straight on top of the hill. And the GK first is going to be spotted down. We can see Meku getting that straight towards them, and Kitsune is going to be playing from the closer distance with the nades. That's going to be throwing, and he just might get something with this nades, but no, he's not going to deal the damage.
Here we go, Navi now making a big wraparound. They want to go ahead and control all of the movement from Unicorns of Love. Of course, you can see over there on the western side that is just a complete open field. It's going to be Meku watching that angle from up on top of the roof. It's going to work. There we go, a little bit of damage onto GK first. He's able to go and tap him a little bit, do a little bit of damage. Unicorns of Love now realizing that they can't really peek from where they're at. They have a vehicle. I wonder if they're just going to try to move somewhere safer at this point. This zone, though. This zone is really only good for Navi still.
Yeah, Unicorns of Love definitely in trouble. Both players will take the damage. We can see GK first trying to connect on Matic. We can see Keith kind of like almost pushing. He wants to go on the other side of that hill, but just knows that it's going to be a risky play, so he doesn't want to do it. Meanwhile, we can see Woodso falling down. GK first going to be under fire from Meku. Going to be hiding behind that rock. Meku on the rooftop takes the damage, falls down, but in the end, it's going to be Navi getting the chicken dinner all the way from the rooftop of the graveyard.
Navi, we said from a couple of circles before that they had complete and utter control of that entire zone, and it looks like they were able to continue to do so, got to kill all of the little solos around them, and they really were able to take that game and to their advantage. That was a great game for Navi.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this game was completely different than the one before. I gotta say, there was more space, and teams were more going for the hot drops than the 24-point teams wipes at the start, so that was definitely enjoyable. So the next game is gonna be Sanhok, so as pointed out by the studio, that's gonna be completely nuts.
It is. So let's go on ahead and toss it back over to the panel, see if they have any more thoughts on Sanhok. See you guys in the next one.
The one time I don't go for Navi, I get burned, and they come through with flying colors. You know what? Maybe my predictions are just a little bit delayed. Who knows? Maybe it's going to be Supermassive Blaze to take the third game of the day. But either way, just happened to join back with Imperium and with Professor Tarzan. It seems my camera has stopped working, or I'm just really focused. So why don't you two take it away?
Uh-oh. It's good. It's all good. It's all good. Looking at the highlights, Tarzan, one thing that I observed is that we saw a few more hot drops. But
yes,
once those hot drops finished, there was a little bit more of a lull before we saw the action pick back up.
Yes, I actually quite like that. I think this game we see a very good mix of the adaptation from Teams 2 to the point system, as well as the usual PUBG that we want to see,
yeah.
Right? But that usual PUBG was at a very high level, and I really like it. You can see how certain styles really allow you to stand through time and the metas, and I think Navi really demonstrated that.
Oh yeah, they were kind of, I don't want to say completely balls to the wall, but to me it was very much about they were calculative, they were spread out, they were controlling, right?
Yes.
And it was just kind of Navi doing what they do best. It didn't feel like an out of style Navi game, like it was massively Navi turned up to 12. It's just they took advantage of the fact that they had strong control, strong position, and we had seen a few teams go out early, so it allowed them to control that phase 3 onward a little bit more clean.
Yeah, it's actually extremely nice to see. Like, some of these teams still bring the need mentality into this map, and you can see how crazy it can be. Like, after all, it is Miramar when it comes to getting punished, where you don't use those landscapes really well. We talk about this exact bus as well. We talk about this team. They're coming up here, and just this 2 meters, sticking the head of the bus out, then you lose your means to transport and rotate in the mix zone. These small things still count after all.
Yeah, and they have to count, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the fact is, it's like a little mini chess game, as we've been kind of like mentioning in the background. But we can see here, really quick, Imperium, 79 points for Navi. 79 points, bro!
Me and Tarzan were speculating how many points they were going to get. He said, I think Tarzan, you said around 85. I was thinking it was around 80 to 85 as well. But 79 is by no means nothing to be sniffed at. And 39 points more than the second place team. 39 more than Team Unique.
What do you mean? Just look at the kill points alone. Let go of the placement points. As Navi to go this tournament just by kill points, and that is absolutely insane. But it's very fair. I think like they play a very good game of PUBG for sure.
Oh, you can see down the list here, Team Unique, they got 30 kill points, 40 total. Unicorns of Love getting 33. Further and further down the list, Big able to get themselves 19. And Konina Power, second time we've seen them, I believe, on this front page. I'm actually really curious to see how everything has kind of adjusted since the first match in overall standings. But before we can get to that, next Rüya, it looks like you have a curse on them, Imperium. They do well in the one game you predict them, in the next game they get a 0.
Whoa. Don't even try to like allude to a curse, okay? Maxwell isn't here. I'm in no way, shape, or form as powerful as him. You know, not at all. So it was just one of those things that can happen, right? One of those things that can happen. You take it on the chin, you move forward.
Yeah, it's true. I'll give you that. I mean, Conqueror, they had 0 points at the last match. They get themselves up to 10 here, and I mean, it's going to be very difficult yet again. Vodafone Giants, next Rüya, they're both going to be losing money in their overall pool because they finished down towards the bottom of the table. Also, without the kills, they also lose a little bit more money as well. But we can see our last match, top killers, it's all going to be Navi. It's all going to be Yellow and Black. Kitsune, Tixi, and Matic all making it there with 5 apiece.
A very, very good game by them. You can see the distinct role as well. That is what I love the most. Like, the Navi gameplay means they know the macro, they think 2 steps ahead, and then they try to get job done without too much effort, right? And that is just what we want to see. This is the team that we're looking out for, and I just can't wait to see them in the PMGC.
Like we know that this kind of format, you know, rewards aggression. But it's just Navi showing what they can do. Frozen, another one of Team Unique players in towards the damage of this game, 975. You know, we talk about the Frozen of Turkey, Jason, but the Frozen of CIS, he can be just as good sometimes.
Well, there's the Frozen of Turkey, and there's the Frozen ooh over in CIS. You gotta add in the ooh at the end. But yeah, 975 damage. I feel like it's been such a long time since I've been able to see Unique in an event that I've been working on, going back to before Navi becoming Navi, when they were known as Unique.
It's a little bit tough for them. I mean, this year they've got that banger, right? Like season 1, they got that first place in the finals, but then through some roster changes, I think like Milky Way leaving them would be a huge hit to the team. So it's good to see some of the players are still holding right in there, you know, just showing raw talent.
17 kills. I'm sorry, Tarzan. Like, in a quote normal, that is an insane amount of kills. That's probably, like, it's not the highest we've ever seen, but is very close to, I think 19, maybe 22 is the max we saw in MGC last year. But that's insane. That's ridiculous. And unfortunately for us, we got to call it here for now because we have to head to a short break. But when we come back, we'll continue to talk about these teams, continue to talk about Navi's domination. We'll see you guys in a few.
Hi everyone, my name is Sergey Pomerantsev, my nickname Kitsune, and I play for Natus Vincere.
Okay, my name is Yusuf, my nickname is Focus, and I'm playing for Vodafone Giants.
Hi, my name is Ridwan, in-game name Reznov, and I'm the fragger for Exquisite Decode UK.
I am Farah, my in-game name is Luna, and I'm a player for Goddess Silence.
You are stuck in the Tiger. Your actions? A. Summon an airdrop with a padded ghillie suit. B. Call rescue team. C. Hug a bear and go bask in its den.
Nah, I'ma take first like, cause ghillie suit will help me a lot in Taiga, you know, to hide from beers and stuff, and so maybe I'll make it out. So yeah,
I'm gonna hug a bear and go with it.
I'd go for
Response C.
Your cell phone is starting to overheat. Your actions? A. Close background apps. B. Get into the freezer. C. Equip your phone with fans and hope the power grid survives.
I pick C just because like we use like fans in real life to prevent like overheating, but you know, in case it doesn't help, you can use freezer always as well. That's the case because like sometimes we just put our phones in freezer for like 10 minutes and it works.
Getting with the freezer.
I'll go for C, equip my phone with fans.
Answer C.
Your teammate suddenly starts shooting at teammates. What are you going to do? A. Join in on the action. B. Try to convince him it's not right to do this. C. Do nothing. Less competitors, more KDA.
Okay, so I pick B just because that's what happens a lot in our games. And Tixi, Mike, and Meku, they're always shooting each other, and it's like pretty common. And every time I convince them, like, guys, stop, like, everyone can be around and let's see that and just push us.
Do nothing. If my teammate have a car 98, I'm gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna try. Just gonna wait to see if you can knock him or not.
C, less competitors.
Answer C.
You don't know what happened, but people around run towards the shelters. What will be your first steps? A. Tune the radio by dusting it off. B. Shout out of the window hoping to get an answer. C. Launch PUBG Mobile. Who cares about radiation?
I pick B. Just, you know, you have to communicate with people. It helps a lot. So that's the best way to understand like what's happening, and maybe when I get to the shelter, that's the time to play PUBG. Maybe just a bit better than just staying at home.
Launch PUBG Mobile.
C, launch PUBG Mobile.
Answer B.
You find yourself surrounded by mysterious figures in white. Who are you gonna call? A. Ghostbusters. B. Pretend to be dead. C. Let the doctors do their job.
Yeah, I mean, if I wake up and I see like white figures, you know, maybe only doctors will help, like an asylum, maybe. So yeah, I pick C for sure.
I'm gonna pretend to be dead. To be close at him.
A, Ghostbusters.
Answer B.
The match is not over yet, but your Hogwarts Express is leaving soon. What are your actions? A. Ask a driver friend to hold the train. B. Accept your fate as a muggle and keep playing. C. Keep playing in the train. It's called PUBG Mobile. Duh!
Yeah, of course, C, man. Like, that's the point of PUBG Mobile. You can play anywhere you want. So I'm not keeping like my life just to play, so I can like compare it.
I'm gonna choose keep playing in the train. Maybe if my gyroscope will not work good, but I have to do it.
C, keep playing in the train.
Answer A.
What is the first thing you do if you get electrocuted? A. Continue to enjoy life. B. Wiggle that outlet one more time. C. Call an electrician to fix the problem.
Nah, I'm a pick B just for fun, you know. Maybe like, you know, nobody really like puts like fingers in there, so I'm gonna try that. Even like pretend to try that, I don't know.
I will do it. I will just enjoy my life.
C, I call an electrician.
Answer A.
What a fantastic kind of set of questions that we had, Tarzan. And one thing that I really found interesting about that was Kitsune was the only one that was really giving kind of logic behind his answers, and that's just that IGL mentality coming out through and through, right?
I really like it. I think Poker's tried, right? Some other players just, I think the thinking goes in the head. So just different type of players, right? Sometimes they are a bit less vocal, but they would just do the right thing, right? So you can see a slice of the brain, and that's great.
Well, you know, it was great to hear some of all their answers, actually. Not just some of their answers, to hear all their answers. But again, we lost against the community when it came to a prediction
We don't
game.
talk about it, man.
Well, we have to talk about it because the community now is going to have a code dropped in on when the next match starts. We have to pay attention to the chat. We can see here, Navi currently is sitting in first place with 101 points off the back of their massive result in the last game with that one chicken dinner. And then Team Unique here in second place at 77, but look at that point difference. First and 8th place.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big. I know Unique have been a little bit more consistent across the first two games, but you can't deny the damage and the wealth behind Navi's performance in game 2.
And I think right now, when we're talking about a very aggressive mode, to see Nick's Rüya Gaming having 0 kill points so far is a little bit surprising, to say the least. I mean, they've got some of the best players. They are arguably one of the most consistent teams in the West, right after Alpha 7, maybe. When we look at those PMGC points, we do not expect them to be here, but after all, it's a little bit different, and we're just 2 games in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a couple games in, right? I'm expecting to still see like teams really step up. They still have 2 matches left to go today, obviously with Erangel Arcane at the very end, and then they still have 2 more days of play after that. But Sanhok, I don't know if we're going to see like a 70-point game here. I don't know if that's possible for any team because of how good they are. But as you're alluding to, Imperium, it's a very evil map here for this one.
I'm wondering, like, how many teams are going to be left with after 4 or 5 minutes, right? Even 6 minutes. Like between the Pinam potential hot drops, boot camp, you have maybe team coming on through. It's going to be pretty, in Paradise Resort, it's going to be amazing.
Well, what about your thoughts, Tarzan? I mean, we can obviously just, you know, pretty much say what Imperium just said, but...
No, you know what? Like, I've been thinking, what does it mean for this map, right? Do you get so aggressive so suddenly the snakes get rewarded heavily because you're too hungry for kills? But I'm also thinking, right, there will be 1 or 2 teams who are so used to playing heal strat that halfway through them doing it, they're like, okay, what am I actually doing now? And they're stuck between plans.
Well, we can see here our current earnings for all the teams. Remember, they lose money. They don't gain money. They lose money every time they hit certain criteria, like finishing 14th to 16th place, finishing with not enough kills. And there's only 1 team left after 2 matches who still retains all of their funds. Team Unique.
That's what I was talking about to an extent with the consistency that they've shown throughout these games and the points that they've been able to gather. But at the end of the day, that total prize pool, 3,330, if it was to end now, would be going all over to Navi. So yeah, okay, it's a marathon, not a sprint, but just to kind of continue to think about that, Navi right now is still in first place.
Yeah, I mean, they would be getting what, 5,700 right now because there's around 2,480 plus that. Like that's a pretty penny for them.
Is actually quite crazy. I like the punishment, actually, gentlemen, because you need to think what they have to not do in order to not get punished. You have to not go down early, and you have to make sure you're aggressive enough. So I actually quite like this. Like, I don't think a lot of people would look at it this way, but I think there will be a lot of props that should go to the team that have the least amount of money deducted.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we're going to move on from here and maybe get back into prediction time. I think that's where we're going to be going. As the community is currently beating us 2-1, we need to really step up our game. And remember, if you guys are active enough in chat, you guys can actually appear here in our stadium with your avatar. But make sure you get your predictions in with hashtags. Hashtag, let's go with VP if you think Virtus.pro is going to win. Hashtag UL if you think Bitcoin Love are going to win. And this maybe gets our time to make something as well. Karen, we started with you last time, so we'll start with Tarzan.
Ooh, I'm going with hashtag Navi this time around. I feel like momentum is, of course, a real thing, and they've been so good ever since. So I'm going to hop back onto that hype train that is extremely expected.
Oh, man. Going the easy route. I see how it is. They're going the easy route. I'm going hashtag MP Major Pride, because I think they're going to step up to the plate in Sanhok.
Okay, you know what? I'll be a little crazy with my prediction too. I'm going to go next Rüya is taking a hashtag NR because they have no kill points and Imperium called them out. Now it's time for them to step up and show what they can really do. But let's be honest, it's Sanhok. It's a really hard prediction for anyone out there. And we'll see if the community can continue to destroy us. So far, you've beat us 1 time. We've won the first time. Hopefully we don't lose the third time here, boys. We don't want to be the one to not make it. We work on these shows like every other day, so hopefully we can get our predictions correct.
Hopefully.
Well, I've been doing well so far, so I'm just going to make sure that I keep up with my
Konina Power in match one. I don't know. I mean, you did get the only point for us, so it was actually technically pretty much got it. I don't know, Tarzan. I mean, you're feeling pretty confident, but
yeah, I know,
the thing
right?
is, with the way teams are playing, with the Sanhok, like,
it's hard to say.
Hard to predict.
Yeah, for sure. I think I really like your pick. To be honest, Jason, I think. Sorry, not Jason. Tarzan. To be fair, I know it's easier. I know. I baited you, but it was a genuine mistake. I think Navi is a good call. It's a safe call, but it makes sense.
Well, let's see who the community predicted here as we are about to head into our Sanhok, our third matchup 4 in the day before we get into Arcane Erangel. And the community has gone with Unicorns of Love and Exquisite Decode, both tied at 28%, and Navi coming in third.
Okay,
I'd say this. Unicorns of Love's history on Sanhok is basically heal out the blues. So I don't know if I'm very too confident in them.
I know their playstyle has kind of remained generally the same. So yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that they're community favorites, but they do have a lot of support out there.
I think after all, it's about adaptation. Like, I know this team is not scared to make changes. They came into European Champions very ready. They changed his drop spot. They keep growing. And then if that's the plan here, I feel like they may surprise us. So I actually wanted to pick them initially, but I'm going to stay with Navi. But I do think they will be surprising, very much so.
Well, I do believe while we were watching the last match, Imperium did say going into match 3, if the community can predict correctly, he's going to shave his beard. So let's see with Imperium's beard on the line of what's going to happen. Tarzan, do you have my back on this? Did he say this? Do you remember hearing him?
Yeah, I mean, I've got some... God. Okay, you're putting me on the spot. Yes, I'm just going to say yes.
Okay, well, we know who our allies are and who our enemies are here on the desk. Let's find out who our commentators are. It's going to be Copter and Sven Carter.
And we are back in the air. It's going to be time for Sanhok and the players coming from the southern side heading towards Mongnai area. And I would really love the idea of seeing Imperium without the beard. They will just have like 2 Tarzans on the studio.
I wouldn't be able to recognize him. I don't know if I would like that. I think I'd prefer him to keep it. But yeah, we can see here on Sanhok, the plane going across. We were already talking about this in our expectations. Sanhok, usually the more aggressive map, just because of its size and how close all the teams are already. They love to third party. They love to get into fights. And now with this prize pool, these points distributions, like, I don't even know what to expect.
I'm disappointed. There's nobody going for the boot camp. I was waiting for the lobster party, but it's gonna be a it's gonna be a paradise party instead. 3 teams, let's go!
Wow, here we go. A lot of damage here, but of course, remember, support your creative expression without limits with Xiaomi's 11T's Cinemagic Power. And wow, look at that Virtus.pro. Let's see. We know that there are somebody's prediction. Let's see if they're going to go ahead and pull it off as they get a knock onto one. No way, another one goes down from Surreal Esports as well. It's not looking too good for them. And here comes Virtus.pro. We're going to see if the other team is going to start getting involved as well, but no, they keep getting trades back and forth.
Yeah, VP, they want to play the high ground. I mean, just like a TDM, to be honest. And there we go. Wade is going to be fighting one player from the SR. Will get the damage, but doesn't get the knock. Unfortunately, Jessel's going to be trying to retaliate. We can see at the same time, White is going to fall down. Skills is going to fall down as well. So VP gets the casualties. Soul is going to be taken down elsewhere. And also Nihat from the next Rüya. So it's going to be a Fire Flux versus the next Rüya happening elsewhere. VP there just playing outside of the paradise. We can see SR as they will try to find some angles. S2G, they have taken the casualties. Peace Hub is slowly losing the health. We can see Enjoy has done the revival though, so Peace Hub is actually currently healing. Does he have the heals? That's going to be a different story. But S2G, they have lost Chelsea and Timber. It's going to be spotting down one. Enjoy takes the damage because he's Stylus. Just try to challenge the Surreal Esports players. They are just moving there right on the open. This first going to be connecting towards Peace Hub, but Peace Hub, but doesn't find the player in the end.
I really like that prone there. That really went on ahead and saved him out of that one. But it does look like now they're kind of going to be taking a breather. Last few couple of shots, and now they're going to kind of be going in opposite directions, at least for now. They might go on ahead and go back after a bit, but it seems like that's just where they want to go for right now.
Yeah, interesting battle definitely going on, and we can see a code going there as well, so make sure to redeem the code for the in-game rewards. That's going to be Booba 0 Beta Zeta 53 Faro. That's the code, so make sure claim the in-game rewards with that code.
And now it's a down to we're taking a little bit of a break from the action, it seems. Now we're over here on the eastern side. We got Konina Power kind of taking it slow, taking a breather. And actually, unfortunately, it looks like they will be found out by the Sirens. That's who they're kind of trying to hide from. The flush comes through onto at least one of them to go on ahead and confirm those 6 points. And now it's just down to Teak as Luna starts pushing through the building. Let's see what he's going to be able to pull off here, as it looks like the rest of them are just hard pushing.
Yeah, they are definitely going for it, so we can see Konina, they're just waiting to find the player from the inside. There we go, it's going to be a spray coming from Teak with a Vector. Will slightly connect, a second touch happens, so it's going to be slightly tackled, like 50 HP remaining. Teak is going to just go inside, and will race through the smokes. We'll find Luna from the inside, and that's going to be at least a knock happening. Can they still help with the situation? We can see a second player coming to the scene, and that's going to be, well, another point for Teak, and he's going to go for it, and there we go. Teak finds the second one as well. Diabla and Gardener Sirens, they are gone, and I think Konina Power, they just claimed 29 points.
They have to go on ahead and be careful, though, because around them there were at least 2 more teams really close by. Oh my goodness, JK first tried pulling off a little bit of a sneaky move there, but was instantly spotted out here. So it looks like Unicorns of Love are not going to be happy right now, especially as Rolkins goes down. So let's see, Lin, Woodzone, they have to go on ahead and get out of here to try and reset.
Yeah, Lin is the only player remaining, so let's see what he can do here. Gonna be just trying to leave from the whole situation. Unique's gonna be staying there. We can see Unique going for the flushes. That's gonna be GK first, take it down, and that is happening with the with the AR from the closer distance. Now it's gonna be time for looting. As we can see, Exquisite Decode, they know where Konina Power is hiding. They heard the fighting happening earlier on the barn area, and now they will just try to move there. And you know, they have to hurry. They want to get those 6-point kills. That's why they are running.
Here we go. They're laying prone on that hill. They want to go on ahead and approach this. This is one of the teams that I mentioned. They definitely heard the fight happening over here between the Sirens and Konina Power, and they're definitely going to run over and get involved. And here they are. Surprisingly, though, Konina Power, there we go, being able to bring it back a little bit. Daddy goes down. Will goes down. It looks like Exquisite wasn't able to entirely go on ahead and sneak up on top of them. So let's see if they're going to be able to turn this around, or if Konina Power are going to be able to go ahead and eliminate a second team. Vodafone Giants, though, in the distance.
Yeah, they have a 2-2 split. They have 2 players next to them, and 2 players are coming as well with vehicles, so they're definitely wanting the third part of the whole situation. Of course, Konina Power, they have the 4-man stack, but it's not the same happening here, as we can see Big also having a 5 with the Blaze. We can see Tron for Papara dropping down. Swave trying to find some more targets. Identifies that there's going to be more players behind that hill, but doesn't find the angle for now. They are awfully close to each other. It's right there on the southern side of the booth cap, and also we might have a third-party situation happening there as well. But meanwhile, the other third-party, Exquisite Decode, taken down as a whole. It's going to be Konina Power who's going to find those kills, and now Vodafone Giants, they are climbing up on that hill. Pope was already on top of that hill. Will they find the players, and will they be able to get those points? That is a question that's going to be still remaining to get an answer.
Vodafone Giants, I mean, this is a perfect opportunity for them to go on ahead and third-party this. They have 1 kill so far. Konina Power, though, it looks like they're trying to go on ahead and disengage from that entirely, but we'll see if Vodafone Giants will be able to pick them up anyway. Meanwhile, Big, it looks like this fight continuing. Supermassive Blaze will have Savian go down. A couple of them still alive, though. It looks like trading back and forth for now. It's just that, you know, Big, they kind of have a little bit of the height advantage. They're more up on top of the hill. Meanwhile, Supermassive Blaze kind of stuck a little bit far below. And now Navi, I think, is about to appear on that mini map just in the corner, so they're gonna have to go ahead and hurry this up.
Yeah,
basically.
Navi has to leave from the Alpha Island, so they're waiting their options. Meanwhile, we can see, of course, Fire Flux, they will find Conqueror. We have this race happening. Owner's going to find Vito. That's going to be a great opening. They have Reeves knocked down as well. So quite few players remaining, only for actually 1 for the Conqueror remaining. It's going to be Owner who's going to find the flush from Vito as well. So now they have been collecting those points. They still have the time because the second phase timer hasn't yet started. So it's going to be still the 6 point per kill happening. And that's why they want to flush them ASAP. And what a nade coming there. Catch and Savian, very low on HP both.
Yeah, now here we go. Big Day just have to go ahead and make this push, get those flushes done with right before this first map closes and get those 6 points. Meanwhile, last member up here for Supermassive Blaze, he ended up kind of being able to pull a ring around the rosy. Now he's up on top of the hill, and here comes the rest of Big. He'll at least be able to surprise one. He's going to go for it. There we go. Eddie goes down. Can he get a second one, though, is the question. He almost does. Very low HP, about 10 HP, but no, Coursera doesn't seem to want to go ahead and over push for that, so he's going to wait a little bit, and that just means that Big, they're going to be able to reset and come a little closer. But there we go, the bullets from Na'Vi in the distance. We knew that they were coming.
Oh yeah, Mishi goes down to 1 HP. That is so close. Coursera just completely dominating the hill. Knows that the guy's going to be trying to heal behind that rock, and they will go with a straight battle. Coursera takes the damage, gets Mishi down. He's going to fall down in the end. The trade is going to come from Swave. It's going to be Coursera now falling, and the Papara Supermassive Blaze. They are out of the server, back to the lobby.
There we go, and looks like Pride, unfortunately, going to be down as well as Konina Power is going to go ahead and clean that up. They were fighting over here on the eastern side for quite a while, to the point that Gonzo is now the last one up for Konina Power. That is a difficult situation to be in, especially in a game like Sanhok. There's so much team fighting. It's so important on this map, but now as a solo, he's just going to go ahead and have to hide in the abundant foliage on this map, so that is definitely the good side. Vodafone Giants also still over here. They have so much room over here on the east.
Yeah, now Na'Vi actually has been coming across that river, so now Big is going to be finding them. Just like you pointed out earlier, Span Cargo, they are definitely joining the fight. They managed to somehow swim or come with the boats. I don't know if they used the bridges or whatever is going to be the means, but they are still definitely wanting to get those points. They were completely alone on the Alpha Island, so they weren't able to get any of the points. So now where they're finally here, where the action is happening, it's very time to get those kills, time to get those points. They still have 40 seconds when they can try to get those 6-point kills. And Big, they're trying to go and hunt down. Meku definitely in trouble, needs to go back inside of the building, will be changing on the backside of it, and he needs to run. Run like Forrest Gump, please.
There we go, Mishi. There we go, doing some more damage as well. Meku not going to be quite happy about that, but they at least have this compound in between them, so it is going to pause the fight for the shortest little bit amount. Looks like Big is still trying to disengage somehow, but as they go higher up that hill, I believe Na'Vi is going to be able to see them and take some shots, but we're going to hold our breath for a second. We're going to see, looks like Na'Vi is still thinking they're inside of this compound, so Big might actually be able to get away with this and a head start towards this next zone, but wait a second, there's a whole nother team right on the other side of Big, and it is going to be Surreal Esports.
Yeah, that's I think that's the 4th or the 5th party already, and that's gonna be Enjoy actually finding Mishi as well. So Big is down to 2 players. Matic waiting from the other side because he Enjoy getting Mishi. That's gonna be a 4-point kill, so they don't get those 6 points anymore. It's gonna be 4 points for now. Enjoy's gonna be traded, so Kitsune's gonna find that one, and the flash will be happening immediately as well. Swave is gonna be taken down by Matic, so all the teams are engaging each other's. We can see Kitsune going for the closer range, wants to get that flush on Swave, but yeah, Gold is just hiding behind the rock, and he might be able to surprise actually Na'Vi if they will just get closer. But I mean, Goldie definitely in trouble. Teams on the both sides, there's no way he can go.
Now Goldie, just playing this really very quietly as the solo. This is exactly what you need to be doing, because now as a solo, your entire function is to stay alive as long as possible. You want those placement points, so he's just going to hope that Na'Vi and Surreal Esports are going to get in the fight instead, and Goldie is just going to go on ahead and fade into the background. So we'll see. Matic starting to make a big push towards this rock that Goldie is at. There we go, prepping the nade. A little bit suspicious of that tree over there, but definitely not the own rock that he's currently standing at. Goldie got to be careful, and it looks like Kitsune actually goes down. Goldie, no! He actually takes the shots as well, doesn't get the knock, but he will be able to take down Matic, at least get those points really quickly as the rest of Na'Vi now push.
Yeah, that's the end of it. Meanwhile, Goldie is going to be taken down, so Big has been eliminated. He was able to get that 1 kill in the end. There was exactly the thing happening, like you mentioned, that Na'Vi started to fight with the Surreal Esports, but it kind of like it was too messy. He was too close to the battle, and he needed to do something because the enemy from the other side would have spotted him down if Na'Vi wouldn't. But anyway, he's going to get that 1 kill, and of course going to get the whole team out of the lobby. I mean, his own team, so Big is out of the lobby. Meanwhile, Circle, the next circle will be there on the northern side, so the northern side of the Bravo Island, but we can see Jetkill actually finding Meku, gets a knock as well, and that's the end of the Na'Vi story as well.
Wow, okay, 8 teams left now. Zone 2 is just closing, so we still have those high points going on. Not the highest, but still 4 points per kill. Now we got Frozen Uwu running around as we were informed by the desk that we had to pronounce that in the name. Driving through Bond. So many teams now actually are just broken and battered. A lot of them have just like 1 or 2 people left on these teams.
Yeah, now it's like 12.5 minutes on the clock. And if you compare to the last game, I mean, 8 teams and 18 players alive. I think on the last game, we still had like more than 10 teams at this stage and something like 40 players alive or something like that. I don't remember the exact numbers, but definitely, I mean, in Miramar, we had more players and teams than we had on the Erangel. And I'm pretty sure that the Sanhok numbers are even lower than the Erangel ones at the same state of the game. But yep, anyway, we can see the circle. A lot of teams actually, they have space to play. So we don't have any like, you know, stacks or clusters building. Vodafone Giants might be just waiting for the last guy from the Konina Power to get out of the Camp Bravo. We can see Unique. They have an interesting split. They have 1 player on Barn, and then they have two players. Yeah, it is 2 players right next to Quarry. So that's a long distance.
They're just spreading out. They want all the kills everywhere. They want to get all of the knowledge. I guess the thing is that why everything has been so aggressive because of the point distribution, right? If you know on Sanhok, the map is super small. If you're spread out like that, if you hear any fight, you can be like, hey, I hear people over here, let's go for it. And then they could go on ahead and third party it, which usually happens on Sanhok already, but it really looks like Unique is taking it to an even more extreme situation. I really think that they're doing that to try and get involved in as many fights as possible.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the point system is doing a lot changes for the initial play, how the people want to play that. I mean, otherwise, we don't normally see three teams dropping on the Paradise Resort. I was really hoping still to have that lobster battle on the boot camp. But yeah, maybe that's going to happen tomorrow. So hopefully the players are listening. Please, tomorrow, please, 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 pretty please go to boot camp. Let's see 5 teams there. I want to feel the good old deathmatch happening there.
That'd be fun. At least the last day, just have everybody go to boot camp. Absolute chaos. There we go. We can see a couple of our solos down here on the southern side. We knew that Frozen and Lin were alone, and we're going to have another team pushing up from the southern side very shortly. Surreal Esports. Got to be careful, though, from these solos. They're just going to go ahead and glide on by. No way, but Lin is actually going to stand up and take that fight. That is quite an interesting decision, as now P-Sub is just going to take him out. Unicorns of Love eliminated.
Yeah, Surreal Esports. They had a 1 player next to the vehicle, but yeah, nice try, definitely. It could have been a couple points, maybe. But it wasn't just meant to be. But next Rüya, he's going to be having his try. Gets 1, but not the second. Going to be traded by Enjoy, and that's going to be the end of next Rüya gaming as well. So S2G, as we can see, they are watching this whole situation from the distance. They have 2 guys remaining because it's 7 spotting what is going on, and the spray will be coming. It's going to be connecting as well. Peace Hub takes the damage, goes down to 50 HP, but no, doesn't fall down yet. He's very low on HP, but still standing behind that rock. And meanwhile, of course, Surreal Esports, they don't lose anybody, but at least they know the location of S2G.
Somehow finding both those solos, they're definitely going to make Surreal very happy, picking up those last couple of points there. Now they have to go on ahead and make a big cross across this road, and S2G kind of being able to hold them out where they currently are it's going to be a little bit difficult. They're kind of going to go a roundabout way, either far to the west or far to the east. If they go east, though, there's a lot more teams to go on ahead and run to, but of course, they might not know that, so we'll just have to wait and see what their decision is. And speaking of the east, it looks like Unique has finally sniffed out a team to go on ahead and participate in, and that's going to be against the Vodafone Giants.
Yeah, they are definitely having a battle. We can see Sebi being knocked down, so just Nano and Pokos remaining currently, who are the fighters. We can see Unique getting all the 3 players at the same place as well, as they are right there on the other side of the road, at least. And then we can see Pokos actually spotting 1. There's going to be a vehicle coming. Maybe we'll have the drive-by action. There we go. Nano's going to be spotted down. Pokos gets that stray, but no. Going to be too unfortunate. And Mine's going to get Pokos down, so just 1 player, Sebi, no, Nano, remaining for the Vodafone Giants. And he's hiding behind the next buildings, actually. He's quite far away from the whole situation.
Yeah, he's just done. He has to wait. Nano, though, he's going to go on ahead and continue to push on over there. He has this wall as hard cover, while Unique, I mean, they still have all these trees and rocks, but they're a little bit more out in the open. There we go. He spots him out, tosses the nade. Let's see if he's going to be able to get some big damage with this one. Going to be able to explode. Doesn't quite get the knock, but let's see if the second one will. Nano playing this very patiently as this last solo up for Vodafone Giants. Oh, man, but there's just so many members of Unique to try and put a stop to it, but that, whoa, great spray onto 1.
Yeah, they're definitely coming. They will try to jump on the fence. Can he get a second one? No, it's going to be on the Frozen. We'll get Nano and the Vodafone Giants. They will fall down as well. They will get the 6th place. They will collect 4 placement points from that one. And now we just have 5 teams and 13 players remaining. So we actually had 8 teams and 18 players. So with 5 players, we lost 3 teams. So that kind of like tells how few players some of the teams had remaining when we checked the situation last time. And now when we're going to look at the numbers, we have S2G with 2. We do have Surreal with 3. We have still Flux with 3 on the Paradise Resort as well, and Unique with 3 as well. So actually quite many big teams. And one thing which we haven't seen, but maybe we'll see it now, we haven't seen anybody doing the healing strat on the blue. And we can see a Konina Power. They just have Gonzo right next to Bonzo. He just might go for it.
He was running around, jumping up and down to see if he could find the boxes from the people that he got in a fight with earlier. So maybe he is just going to go ahead and trying to find a lot of meds right now to pull off that healing strat. Didn't seem like he found any on the body that we watched him find, but we'll see if he'll be successful later on. Otherwise, I mean, he's not too far away from the zone, so he could go on ahead and make a chance to get inside this next zone if they really wanted to. But now, we already talked about it, 5 teams left, all of them basically at least missing a singular person except for Unique. So as of right now, that is the quote-unquote strongest team in this position, especially because they just have so much control over here on the East.
This is strange. I mean, we saw the same happening with Erangel as well, that we had like a huge amount of aggression at the start and on the middle as well, and then the end. I think the end is actually pretty calculated because we are only, what is this, like phase number 4, and we're down to 5 teams, so the teams, they have so much space to build the ending. And this is, I mean, this is completely different than Miramar, because in Miramar we had the early aggression, then we had like a pause, then we had, you know, kind of like a little bit after the middle point, we had more aggression, like, you know, going all the way towards the ending. But here, now phase 4, 5 teams in Sanhok, you actually have space. Like, what's going on?
Yep, exactly. So, everybody at this point is kind of playing the sneaky game, right? Because we already said that there's only 1 team with 4 up, and then otherwise there's only 1 other team with 3 up. It's usually teams that have 3 or 4 up that are continuing to be aggressive. Meanwhile, the duos, the solos, they're not usually going to be the ones that are actively seeking out some sort of fights to happen. So really, I feel like it's kind of in the court of the 3-man and the 4-man. But as we can see here, as we're just switching cameras around here, everybody's just waiting. Everybody wants to wait for that advantage, because I guess now is really the time to hold your breath and just be patient.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I mean, S2G, which we can see here on the pictures, they are pretty much on the middle of the circle, just a little bit more on the southern side. But it's quite in the open. I mean, there's no reason to move. Why expose yourself in the open fields? Because you raise and the fire flux. And if I do remember correctly, by the way, especially coming for Silas, these guys, they jumped down on the Paradise Resort at the start. So they have been here the whole game. They haven't moved. Well, they have moved some inches, but not so far away. I was going to say that they haven't moved an inch, but yeah, that's not true. But meanwhile, the circle's going to be shifting. It's going to be favoring S2G. Also Unique, they have some buildings inside. And Fireflux, finally, they will have to leave from the Paradise Resort. Also, Gonzo has came, as we can see, out of the blue. So he's not doing the heal strat for now. 5 first aid kits, that's not enough for that kind of strategy. So he just needs to be very careful here on the backside of the Surreal Esports.
Exactly. You can see he's still slowly moving on over. He's scoping it out. I'm a little bit concerned by how fast he's moving, especially because actually Surreal Esports are split around him at this point. There you go. He spotted out Peace Hub, though, back to being a little bit more cautious. He's actually not going to take the shots. It's going to be Unique above him. So maybe this is the entry that he needs, actually. No, he's just going to go ahead and yoink that kill. No way. Peace is going to be taken out. Gonzo is taking it for themselves, and now Surreal is both aware of Unique and that there's a solo from Konina Power running around.
Yeah, that's how you, well, that's how you get the points, and that's how you piece your enemies as well, by stealing the points from them. I mean, losing 1 point, that might not be so bad, but now you're going to be losing 3 points when somebody's stealing the kill. So, I mean, they cannot be happy with it. And Gonzo, he wants to get more out of the situation. He knows where the Surreal is supposed to be hiding. Meanwhile, Unique's going to find the Fire Flux Ray is going to be behind that scope, but no damage will be dealt. Tophis still wants to connect, but doesn't find the targets as Enjoy finds Gonzo finally, and Konina Power, they are out of the game.
Unique honestly has an angle on every single team, it feels like. Because, I mean, Toffee's currently paying attention to Flux Esports. We've got the rest of them starting to make a rotation over towards Surreal Esports. And then S2G is just smack in the center. Of course, they're going to go on ahead and also have a line of sight onto them with this wraparound. And actually, it looks like, unfortunately for S2G, they're going to go ahead and lose another person. So it's just one of them left. And Frozen, this is the one that was making a wraparound with their teammate Minnow here. This could be disastrous for Surreal with this nade.
Yeah, with the circle hard shifted on the northwest side, and now Surreal, they will have to hold that building, but it's going to be very complicated when you have Team Unique actually trying to shoot from the different directions. Jet was going to find Mind, though, so that is an opening. That's going to help out with the situation, at least going to stop the push happening from the southern side. As we can see Frozen going for the revival, we can see Jalu tries to somehow help his teammates from the distance, because they have the other buildings, they have two guys, they have the higher angle, but there's no windows where they could actually shoot these guys. But as soon as the Surreal is going to be leaving from that building, there's going to be a lot of scopes pointing straight towards them. So let's see how they will manage with the situation. That's going to be a bad smoke getting inside of that shack. But the second one is going to go outside. So maybe that's going to help them to move a little bit.
There you go. Even Toffee's starting to toss out a couple of util pieces as well. Knows that they need to get a little bit further towards the center of this. Instantly going to go and pull up on the edge. They have a little bit of a ridge here to protect them from everybody else inside of this zone. And actually, S2G7, he was actually having a little bit of a tower there that, unfortunately for him, Surreal is going to go ahead and rip him out of. So there's still two left. You can see Enjoy starting to get shot at. Jekyll, he took a ton of damage, and that is actually going to be it for them. So Unique, they were down to our last two teams. It's Unique versus Flux Esports.
Yeah, Flux, they have, of course, they needed to move away from the Paradise Resort. So they have taken the western, northern side of the circle, and Unique playing the opposite side of the circle. So they have the hill between them, a small, dirty road as well, because the Tofi's trying to nade something. Will he find something? So Wolf's going to be fighting them, though. That's going to be Mind taken down, because if Frozen take the damage as well. Owner gets the spray on point as well. Wolf is going to fall down. Owner tries to retaliate. Tofi's just making the moves. Jalo knows where Owner's going to be hiding. That's going to be a flashbang. No, it's going to be a hate grenade actually, but doesn't deal the damage, and Jalo just tries to do the pre-fire on the corner of that rock, but doesn't find it. The molly, will that be connected? No, it's just going to be blocking the other way from the rock, so he cannot actually dodge from that side, because he has Jalo leaving from the situation. Owner, a second nade, will try to follow. Is it going to be bounce? Yes, it's going to bounce, and Jalo taken down. Owner tries to have that one-man fight. He's the last guy standing, tries to do everything he can, but cannot, unfortunately. It is going to be, in the end, the one and the only Team Unique.
Are we surprised to see that? I don't think so. They had a lot of control of that eastern side of the zone for such a long time, and even before the next zone had popped, they were spreading out all of the time to take control of as much space as possible, and that strat ended up working out for them flawlessly on Sanhok.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the 2-2 split which they had, it was pretty smart, because they know that there's going to be a lot of teams which doesn't have much players. So they knew that the two-man stack on the both sides of the circle is going to be enough to actually drop down the enemies in the end. But anyways, there was Sanhok. We still have one match remaining. And of course, we're going to be seeing our guys on the lovely panel. So let's go and have a look at those guys.
It is those guys. It is Jason Kaplan, Imperium, and Professor Tarzan. I forgot to unmute myself because I don't want to interrupt the lovely commentators while they're taking us through all the action. But we do have Team Unique taking home the chicken dinner, taking home probably a massive amount of points. But I'm going to start off talking about this. This is the first time I've ever seen a Sanhok where we're still in Zone 1. There's only 24 people remaining. What the hell happened in that first zone?
It's Sanhok, baby. Right? It's Sanhok. It's this format, this amount of points. It's a recipe for destruction, disaster at the start of the game.
Whoa.
Yeah, I recovered.
No.
I fixed it.
No problem. I mean, I have a loss for words as well. When we saw these three teams, right, in Paradise Resort, I feel like they should expect this as well. Like, those are their favorite drop shots as well. We track them back to PMPL, but man, you gotta love it. Like, the aggression coming out is like, you know what this game mode's for, and they are just giving us, you know, what we expect from them.
And Konina Power had a hell of a busy start to this game. They fought against Goddess Sirens, they came out on top. They fought against Exquisite Decode, they came out on top. Now, they were left broken, beaten, and scarred with just Gonzo left up, but still a hell of a lot of resilience from Konina Power.
Yeah, I mean, from that spot they could have fallen, but Major Pride didn't quite make it, right? So they didn't show up for you this time, but hey, you called them out as well, like as we were watching. They were so good, like they've been making these consistent plays that we want to see in any type of stage, right? So it's great to see them take that one, but man, like Owner P put up such a good fight towards the end, and it kind of answers my question as to, you know, before this I was thinking, right, like what's there, like for this team that makes Razy and Solus want to join them? You know, they were doing so well, right? They were so experienced in PMGC, want to join this team that's, you know, on paper not that great, but Owner P really showed us what he's got.
That's a good point, right? Obviously, leaving your team that was able to make it to PMGC to show there's other Turkish teams besides Futbolist, and then to not kind of get back into PMGC is a little bit rough. But I think we're seeing some sides of the team, obviously. I mean, this is their best results so far here as we're seeing it come towards the very end. But as you guys were pointing out during the match, like Unique, when we got towards the zone, you're like, yeah, Unique's got this. They got the players, they got the positions, and they got the victory.
And are we really surprised, Jason? They had consistent performance in Game 1, consistent performance in Game 2. It was a matter of time. In hindsight, probably should have picked them for my prediction in this Game 3. I think it was obviously always going to be a little bit of, well, it's Sanhok, so we don't know. There's that craziness that is involved, but they played the end parts of that game fantastic.
Well, you know what? Go ahead.
Yeah, like, you know what? Because I'm thinking about Konina Power as we gone through all that, gentlemen, because those early kills are so important. We talked about, you know, how that multiplies. So that's what we love about the Star Challenge so far, is that sometimes you just never know until you see the actual stats.
Well, we get our predictions in here, and well, we're gonna lose this time altogether. No one faring well in this one, so I'm not sure how that works when it comes to a draw with the community getting a special code in chat, but either way, not our best game. But you know what? I think we're all allowed to have a bad one. So community, you know, I don't feel bad about this one, guys. I'm a little disappointed in us though. I feel like we should have been better at this.
Look, it's Sanhok. We'll give ourselves a pass on that. Right? You were saying during the game in the virtual green room that was a completely opposite turn of events. So we give ourselves a pass, Jason.
It's tough. I mean, like, if we can't do it now, are we expecting ourselves to do better later in Arcane? I really don't know, man.
I don't know what's going to be happening, but as you mentioned, Arcane will be our next pick here. The Arcane Erangel map will be heading to that in just a few moments' time, but we have to head to a short break before that, so don't go anywhere.
Sunsura with you today, and you are watching This Is Not a Drill. Players will try to give as many answers as possible to questions related to the game. And who will keep me company today?
Hello, my name is Nicola. My nickname is Daddy, and I'm playing for Exquisite Decode.
Okay, let's go! How many ARs are there in the game? A, 9, B, 10, or C, 12?
B10.
Correct. What bullets are used from UMP45? A, 9mm, B, 7.62mm, or C, .45 ACP?
C.
Correct. Which weapon has the highest clip capacity? A, P90, B, P92, or C, P18C?
C.
Wrong. How many LMGs are there in the game? A, 3, B, 4, or C, 2?
3.
Wrong answer. Machete, crowbar, cycle. What's missing from this list? A, a knife, B, a pen, or C, a katana?
C.
Incorrect. So, let's see how many correct answers the player gave.
Welcome to PUBG Mobile Masterclass. Today, we will take a look at the game strategy from real professionals. Let's take a look at one of the best UK teams and what they managed to show at the PMPL Season 2 Finals. Exquisite Decode UK. On the third day of PMPL Finals, Exquisite Decode UK demonstrated an excellent strategy against the attacking team. When a team of enemies attacked, knocking out one of Exquisite Decode UK players, Reznov first threw a smoke grenade to save his teammate. Then Reznov and Daddy teamed up to fight off the enemy on the right side. Daddy makes a move to run around the house while the enemies think that there are still 2 or more people. Next, clever tactics from Exquisite Decode UK made it possible to precisely determine where the enemy is. Reznov gets into the car and goes to scout the area, thereby knocking down one of the enemies. The opposing team did not expect it and found themselves in a very difficult situation. Knowing where the enemy was, Exquisite attacks the remaining opponent from different directions. Reznov's scouting was the final nail in the coffin of the opposing team. The strategy performed by Exquisite Decode UK showed us how to tactically protect the spot without losing teammates. That's it for now. Join our stream and find out more at PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Europe. See you on the battlegrounds.
Come on, Daddy, you're better than that. You should have answered way more of those correctly, but you know what? You probably did better than I did, so I'm not going to be too harsh on you. Daddy coming in from Exquisite Decode, who are looking to step up here as we get into our final round of the day, and it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be over on Arcane Erangel, and I hope our commentators are ready for that one. I hope we're ready, and all of you viewers are ready to see it as well, because it's going to be a blast. But before we get into that one, gentlemen, it is our final round of the day, but I'm curious, where do our teams currently stand when it comes to their money at the moment? We had a couple of teams. We had one team, actually, Team Unique, if I'm not mistaken, the only team remaining with 2,500 left without getting any deductions. And with them winning that last game, they shouldn't lose any either. And you can see they're currently sitting in first place.
Money, 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 money must be funny in a rich man's world. And right now, Team Unique looking pretty damn rich up in the standings. First place overall, first place in terms of money, and never mind the fact that, of course, consistently it's been added to the bank, right? That Squid Game-esque pile of cash is building up in the corner of the room for one of these teams to overtake. It's going to get very, very interesting indeed, Jason.
Yeah, I think the thing is, every time you don't lose money, you're basically winning an extra $150, right? Because there is a minimum amount you're going to get just for participating.
Yes.
Because you can't possibly lose all of your bank. So every time you don't lose money, you're gaining money. So it actually is a really good job for Team Unique so far.
It is. And it's that kind of fine balance, mate, right? Between you don't want to take the risk of trying to take a lot of fights to grab a lot of points to hopefully be in a chance to win for first place. But you also don't want to play too safe, because as much as playing safe might mean you don't lose money, it also means you're going to be far less in the chance of being first place in the end. So it is actually it's a much finer balance than you think, despite the craziness that's around it. So I think it's forcing these teams to maybe look at the game a little bit differently.
Yeah, I think they should be looking differently the entire time. I mean, obviously with the kill points you get 3 in general, but it could be 6 or it could be 4, it could be 5 depending on who you kill and when you kill them. I mean, we've already seen, was it Na'Vi get over 70 points in a single match, and I believe Team Unique has even passed them now. Not sure how many they got in the last match, but obviously get to that when we get to the very end of the day here. Tarzan, I'm scared to bring you in, but I am curious if you can be brought in.
No, we can try. I don't know whether it is. But you know what? I'm really looking forward to this next one. Is going to be something completely new, and I think we just learn with the players at the same time as well as we go through this. Is going to bring out something completely different, and I just can't wait to see it. Like, the graphics are so good on this patch as well. With this collaboration, it's going to be so lit.
Yeah, I really like the idea of this new game mode. I'm looking forward to learning along the way. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, it's going to be coming into prediction time now. Honestly, I'm not going to be mad if any of or if all of us get it wrong, because This is going to be a really difficult one to predict. It's the first time we're going to see it here over the next 3 days. We're going to see it at the end of the day for every single day. So don't worry if you get it wrong here. You still have more chances. But remember, you can vote in chat by making sure to type the hashtag, the correct hashtag of the team you think is going to win here. For instance, if you think it's going to be Konina Power, hashtag KP. If you think it's going to be big, hashtag big. I don't know who I want to predict. I don't want to necessarily throw it to you two. I'll take the first one this time. And I'm just going to go crazy, and I'm going to literally close my eyes and then point to something, and I'm going to take that one. Supermassive Blaze.
That's not a bad kind of close your eyes guess. I'm going to play super duper safe, and I'm going to go hashtag unique, because they've won a game. They performed brilliantly in the first two. In unique, we trust.
You know what? I'm getting hashtag big because you know what? Go big or go home. I love this team.
Okay.
Like I love the way they played through the PMPL season, but the misstep in the finals didn't do them justice. I mean, after all, it is fair, but this is where they can maybe shine again. So they will be my choice.
Lives in the UK and doesn't even support the UK team. I am disappointed, Tarzan. I think Ireland is technically part of the UK, if I'm not mistaken.
Whoa, no, it's not.
Okay, don't
it's like
go
the same
there.
thing, right?
I know you're American, so you're forgiven in that sense. But Ireland is its own country, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, its own country that's a part of the UK. Gotcha. But anyways, just to give you guys some context of why we are talking this up. We haven't had the opportunity yet to play this just yet, unfortunately, but we're going to be going over to Mirror's World. And the way it works is that kills on the island do not eliminate you from the game. And island kills count as kill points. Scoring for kills remains the same as the other maps, though, within this tournament. And after you've been killed on the island, you can no longer get to it, but you can get to a different island, and you can earn crystals, which is currency that you can spend in the mod store for equipment. So we're kind of learning this as you guys watch it as well, as we go along with this one. But we do have our results or standings. I'm not sure which one's going to be, but we're going to see in just a few seconds of currently where our teams do stand at the moment. I believe Unique is overall in the first place. But we can see, actually, sorry, it wasn't the results. It's the community voting result. So it is technically a result. Exquisite Decode again. I don't know what it is. The UK is just out. I feel like Exquisite Decode has been voted almost every single time.
It's making up for the lack of support from Professor Tarzan. The community's like, okay, well, if Tarzan isn't going to speak up, then we will. We got you. We got you, boys.
You know what? Like, I actually have some love for this team for sure. I'm playing around stats. You know, I will shift my preference if they show me what they've got. They do have the potential though, so it's going to be a spicy game.
I mean, okay, I'm not gonna harsh on the Irish thing. You're from Ireland, right? Or Scotland?
I dare you.
Ireland's kind of like the same place, right?
Don't do it.
I had so many people when I was coming up through the community, and you know, especially American people, hate to say it, that would be like, are you from Scotland? I was like, no, I'm from Ireland.
Ireland's in Scotland, right? Well, Team Unique here, them and Navi both with 91 kill points each, but we can see Team Unique with the chicken dinner and obviously the placements, they've been able to take the lead here at 128 to 111. That is honestly ridiculously close considering how many points you can potentially get in a match.
Yeah, and then KP with 86 is definitely good to talk about, at least in third place. So right now, 3 CIS teams dominating the overall standings. But this second half, Professor Tarzan, I want to see more from Vodafone Giants, Exquisite Decode, and especially next Rüya Gaming.
Yeah, I think for me though, I want to see more from Conqueror EU. They've made some pickups of some teams. We know Redos, he can really frag out when he was on for Romanian boys. So I do have this love, I feel like, for some of these teams who got like some new players in. I want to see new synergy. I want to see how that can really, you know, get them in. Okay, I feel like we didn't talk about Ireland now, right?
Jason,
I'm getting ready for the party. I got the strobe lights on, and we got our commentators coming in for Arcane. Let's bring in Copter and Sven Cargo yet again.
Here we go, Copter. Hello, everybody. It's Copter and Span Cargo, and we're about to get into our very last match of today. And of course, you already heard the people on the desk talk about it. It's going to be a little bit different, and I gotta say, it's going to be a new experience for me. How are you feeling, Copter?
It's gonna be a new experience for me as well. I was trying to figure out all the details of this Arcane mod, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't know all of them. So there's gonna be a lot of surprises on the way. That's what I'm expecting, definitely. But there's gonna be a Mirror's Island, we know that. And to get there, you need to be somehow able to climb the ladder to reach the Champion Island after the energy has been activated. So I guess there needs to be a way to activate how they will actually move on the island. And when they will get on the island, they can find some loot, most probably from there. But then they can also kill the enemies, but the guys will not be completely died. So basically you can get double amount of kill points if you kill the same guy on the Mirror's Island and also on the normal game if I didn't like get it completely wrong. So there's a lot of perks that we'd have to find, but they're gonna be dropping immediately. So that's the place. Okay, so let's go.
I was wondering if everybody was going to be going to the island, and it looks like the majority of the people definitely are. There we go. A lot of members here from God finding themselves Sanhok, Surreal Esports, as well as just complete and utter chaos. Can't even keep control of it entirely. I will just say that the only team that did not go for this island is Konina Power. None of Konina Power are here whatsoever. Also, guys, remember, support your creative expression without limits with Xiaomi's 11 T's Magic Power. There it is on the bottom right-hand corner. As I can't even tell what's happening.
Yeah, it's well, at least we know that they're currently on the Mirror's Island. That's what we know. So they're just fighting here, and they don't have the superpowers which I was expecting, because they on the Arcane mode you actually have some superpowers for the heroes. So we'll just have to figure out. But now it's going to be just a full-fledged fighting happening here on this new weird city, as we can see a peace hub, for example, for the Surreal Esports. Just I guess he's like confused as well what is going on. So he's going to go for the kills. He's going to spot down the players, and there we go. The AK spray is going to be connecting a little bit at least, but doesn't get a knock, unfortunately. Tries to do everything he can, but there's so many players on the same location. I think there's like 20 at least.
Oh, and he goes down. And yeah, now we can see all the other players across Erangel. Those are the ones that were already taken off of this island up here, except for Konina Power. Got to point out again, they're the only ones that decided to go Milta and Farm, not even attempting to go on top of this. And I'm curious to see what team's actually going to win up here. I'm not going to lie. It's like a win and a win kind of a thing situation. Win the island and then potentially win the map.
Yeah, and then when the people die here, they should be spawning somewhere on the actual Erangel. So basically, when you get the kills from here, then you can kill the same guys once again. So there we go. We got the Redox for spotting down the Fire Flux, but it's going to be actually traded immediately. The owner's going to find Redox, so that's going to be a knock happening on his side as well. Beast is going to be waiting for the opportunity to spot down the Pride players. It's going to be Discrim behind that crosshair, but will not connect those shots. There's going to be two players from the Pride, very low on HP. It's going to be Xiaomi and Milky Way down to 15 and about 5 HP, and then the Discrim with the full HP remaining. But yeah, more and more teams, they have been, of course, dropping down from the Mirror's Island, because these are Fire Flux. They are here right next to this magical, I don't know, what's like a table for the rounded table for the knights or something like that. So it's going to be hiding there. Somehow it reminds me of Casino, to be honest.
Potentially, but here we go. This big member Beast has been at this rock this entire time. He clearly has some sort of a good aligned sight right there, and it looks like Conqueror doesn't want Owner to be there anymore for Fireflux. There we go, the big push coming through. Ooh, at this point though, like everybody knows where each other are, and you do not want to get downed. Like you want all these points.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, longer you can stay here, more people you can kill, and more you can get points, because then if you go in the end, you're going to still get away from this island, and then I guess you're going to be getting back to the normal battle royale. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen. We can see Discrim going for it. He's going to spot down the big players wave. It's going to be behind that crosshair. There's going to be a second player right there on the left side. This where it's going to be going into a sway, but it's going to be Woodzone who's going to get the Owner down, and Discrim's going to fall down to Frozen at the same time, and Yekta's going to fall down as well. Ketch is going to be getting a kill as well, so a lot of fights happening at the same time. We can see Manjo finding Owner, and Big, they still have Beast, they still have Swave. We can see Pride going for the revival. He's going to go for the flushes, and he's going to get those ones as well. Naomi is going to be crawling as well. Milko is going to be chopping down from the whole island, and he's going to have a long way down.
Mirror Island's about to disappear, so I guess we're not quite gonna find a winner team up on top of that island. Curious to see who got the most amount of kills up there, but now it is over. Everybody is going to be dropping onto Erangel as of right now, so we'll see. Pachinki's still in the very center. A lot of teams now spread out, and we still have all 16 teams up, except, ooh, Yekta looks like they're slowly bleeding out.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going to be the same rule, so it's the phase 2 hasn't started, so it's still 6 points. So even though get away from the Mirror's Island, they can still get those 6 points kills here on the normal Erangel, and that's why we have so much happening right next to the farm on the Snake area. We can see GK first try to go for the Konina Power. Gonzo be hiding inside of that building. We can see T getting rockets at the same time, so Unicorns of Love gets that damage. We can see GK first go with that AK spray. He wants to get Gonzo down. He's going to be trying to go on the other side of the building, and that nade, that just might do the trick, but yeah, let's see where Gonzo's going to go, and now it's going to be Chong. That looks actually the pretty decent one, but Gonzo meanwhile is going to be leaving, and when he gets the first hit, he's down. We can see GK first pulling him down. The AK spray will go right next to him, gets the damage, but doesn't find the head in the end.
Oh, so close though. Gonzo very low HP. We can see the next island, Champion Island, floating up there above Erangel now. And it looks like Konina Power trying to go back to help out the rest of the team members, taking down the rest of Unicorns of Love. Gonzo just barely making it away. Konina Power did not participate up on top of the island. So if anybody, I think they're the ones that need to catch up on some points in this match.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, when can we see the superpowers? I want to see those, because I saw the big hammer, at least, in play. There was some iron gloves, etc. Because the GK goes with the shotgun, finds T. Konina Power loses one player at least, and GK first going to be getting that AK into use, keeps the enemies at bay, as he will get the spray towards the doorway. Wants to jump down. No, that's going to be denied, and he's going to go from the other side, and he's going to stay hiding. Team U is going to be taken down as the whole. GK first 1 HP gets the first aid. It has the time. They will not spot him immediately, but now it's going to be trying to surprise the guys from above, but that's going to be failing in the end. Gonzo gets him down, and Unicorns of Love, they're going to be taken down as a whole.
Almost got away with it, almost. 1 HP healing on the side of a building. That was very close. Konina Power, though, they're going to stay alive, and they need the points since they weren't up on top of the island, so we will see. Everybody else, doesn't seem like anybody else is on the island just yet, but taking a look at how everybody's moving on the map right now, it seems like everybody's still trying to get underneath of it right now. One of them, of course, being the Sirens, now making a move underneath of it to school. And, oh, we got to see a little bit of a replay of what the Sirens did here.
Ooh. Luna.
Wow.
Diavla. They will just destroy the unique players. That is a nice move.
That was pretty impressive, and now they're driving around trying to figure out where they want to play next. I really thought that they were just going to go ahead and choose school, but it looks like they're not quite happy with that home just yet. Driving her up to Rozhok as well. Would potentially assume they have enough loot at this point. Looks like they have some meds. Here we go. So some people are, in fact, making it back up on top of Champion Island Timber here. Already starting to take some shots.
It is also the guards, so they are killing kind of like bots. So you have to kill those guards to actually get the prize from the loot. We can see S2G, we can see Timber with that railgun trying to find that small insect from the sky. And then now we go back on the snake, as we can see Exquisite Decode putting those nades towards Konina Power.
There you go. They already took down one team. They can go ahead and take down another, but they do have one less person. They no longer have Acer, so it's just 3v4. Evo Station taking a little bit of damage there. Got to be a little bit careful now, as the rest of Exquisite Decode are now making the push. So I'm a little bit worried that he's separated from the rest of his team right now.
Yeah, I mean, on the island, I gotta get back on the island thing. So on the islands, you can search for the crates, and you have to defeat the guards to get the lots of hex crystals. And with the hex crystals, you can redeem advanced supplies in the portable shop. That's what they're used for. So that is a small story short. But anyway, Evo Station gets a lot of damage still. Gonna try to find the last player, but he can't take it down. It's gonna be Elisio who's gonna find Evo Station. Tig is gonna be taken down as well. So Elisio finds another one. Navimatic takes Reeves. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Elisio gets Tig as well. So the whole Konina Power, they are gone. And look at Kitsune. That is a one mighty weapon, and it's gonna be trying to bully plays with it.
Back, I say, is what he's saying with that. Everybody that are just all trying to run away. Let's see what Kitsune is going to be able to do here. No, his teammate actually went down. There's so many of them now. There we go. He's able to get one more at least, and his teammate is there versus Supermassive Blaze. It's just back and forth, back and forth. It looks like there's only one person left for Supermassive Blaze, and Conqueror is actually now in the area to get involved. So there we go. That's all of Supermassive Blaze out of there. Navi will still survive, and now it's just down to Redo.
Yeah, I mean, there was one guy as well talking there on the side. We can see the text coming out of the bubbles of his mouth. Meanwhile, Redox tries to use the railgun, finds McHugh. Can he get a kill with it? No, at least that for now, as he's going to be taken down. We can see Kichiyo with that power hammer. I'm just thinking, can you take those guns on the normal gameplay as well? I would love to see somebody holding school with that.
I'm not sure, but it looks like now S2G has arrived and so has Flux Esports. A little bit concerning now because, you know, if there's only a couple of them and the entire 4-man appears, that is definitely not the best case scenario for themselves. Timber, unfortunately, didn't really seem to be able to find cover fast enough, now super low HP, as of course Flux are continuing to push. There we go, Jinx there, continuing to talk. Let's see what Silas is going to be able to do here, as well as Caitlyn, just damage back and forth for now.
Yeah, Silas has the sniper, and then we have Frost with the railgun. We also saw the power gloves on the play as well. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's gonna be Wolf actually holding those, so he actually has a 1 kill. Let's see if he can actually find more with the gloves. Meanwhile, we can see Pride as they are hiding in the smokes because the Vodafone Giants building around the situation. We can see Serbi behind that hill. Pokus kind of like, you know, climbing on top of, wants to crash, tries to drive over. No, doesn't find anybody. Somehow actually manages to escape with the players gonna be dropping out of the vehicle. Gets one, gets the second one. No, it's gonna be Discrim getting Pokus down. Nice try, but not worth it this time.
I really thought he was at least going to be able to hit one. All of Pride were standing directly on top of each other. There we go. Sebi now trying to go on ahead and do the rest of the damage that his teammate put down. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he's entirely able to get the flushes go through. Vodafone Giants wants these points badly, but Sebi now as a solo has to play this very carefully. Cannot go on ahead and just be taken down immediately, especially because Pride already has a crap ton of smokes down. They're safe for right now against that solo.
Yeah, they seem to be fine. All of them have taken a minor amount of damage, but they have the vehicles and they can just leave. They will put the smokes there, and they actually want to push on Sebi. That's the case. Sebi's going to be defending, but nobody from Pride is going to get that kill, and that is Vodafone Giants taken down. So 11 teams and 40 players, and then we have some strange cover happening here, actually. Blaze, they have found a huge green egg.
Oh, yep, now they have a bunch of shields for themselves, provide them some cover against Exquisite Decode, Supermassive Blaze. They're going to be chilling there for now, but oh no! I don't think they expected that whatsoever. Big from behind! Papara, Supermassive Blaze, they're taken out. They're completely smushed by 2 separate teams.
It was almost like some arcane magic happening there because they just died instantly. And that's a nice jump coming from Big. Meanwhile, of course, yeah, we can see Big actually go for the next team as well. Arco's going to be trying to defend that one. And we can see Surreal Esports. They are getting the kills. Big is going to be taken down. Aku is going to show them, like, even what kind of magic you're going to do for the other teams. I'm going to hold my place.
That was insane from them. But of course, back up to the northern side, we can see that the Sirens are running into yet another fight. S2G up here by Yasnaya. Nice grab of their vehicles. They're trying to make a rotation. Running into a little bit of a hay bale here. Can't fully rotate with the teammate over there on the eastern side, but we'll see if anybody else will be able to start making that aggressive push onto S2G as well. There we go. Gloria now making their jump forward towards it. They know that S2G is here and they want these points.
Yeah, they want to get those points, definitely. Luna is already on the scene. S2G, they have just 2 players on Yasnaya, so they are also separated, so we can see a 7 here on the eastern side, and then we do have Silas more towards the western side, because he's 7, he has spotted definitely at the Sirens, knows that they're going to be trying to find him down, so needs to be very careful, but I mean, there's definitely an opening for 7 as well. If he can find those players one by one, as they're quite much separated currently, definitely has the chance to take down at least one, maybe the second one as well, if they will just come one by one. So just have to be careful and wait what's going to happen. But yeah, meanwhile, in the background, we can see a lot of those islands floating on the sky. Let's see if we still get some more magical arcane action for this game.
Potentially. We still have 9 teams left, 31 alive. Honestly, that is not a lot of people, especially as Zone 2 is still closing, but there still is enough for more fights to obviously be happening. I like the control here we're seeing from S2G as the Sirens are driving right on by. Doesn't want to take those shots for the chance that they're all just going to go on ahead and converge on top of him. So separated from his teammate. So they're going to go on ahead and take it a little bit slower. See, it's going to strike when the advantage is the highest. Gloria completely on the open.
Yeah, he's wide in the open. Sevin ready to
Oh!
shoot. Oh, that's going to be Gloria. Fast shooting happening, and Sevin's going to fall down. And now it's going to be S2G just down to one player. And that is on the other side towards the western side. Gloria wants to get the flush, wants to get those points. Maybe it's going to be asking some questions as well. Maybe she has the same questions as we had during the break as well as from the players. So maybe they're asking like, what weapon will you take on the abandoned island with me? Is it going to be Scarrail or M4? That's going to be your choice. And Silas with those nades tries to attack those. That's going to be happening. So tries to actually get Sakura with that nade. That's going to be a long distance nade.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna lie as well. Gloria kind of gave me a jump scare. I wasn't expecting her to just peek around that US and instantly see the member there from S2G. But now Silas, he's gonna continue to try and take this fight now up on top of the apartment building. See if this height advantage will help out at all. But we can know that they already know exactly where he is. You see the Molotovs being thrown everywhere in the bottom right corner. Oh wait, well Luna's gonna go on ahead and take out S2G Esports, officially eliminated. And there you go, bottom right corner gets bigger. Again, back up on the island, the action you wanted to see, Copter.
Yeah, meanwhile, Na'Vi and Major Pride, they are here. And we can see Milky Way jumping down from the island. So let's see what's going to happen with this guy. Maybe hopefully he has a parachute or has a flying chute. Yeah, there we go. And a nice skin on the parachute as well. Going to be trying to glide down from the island. I think there was a message before that there was a 10 seconds remaining on the island. So I guess it's closed now. So it's no entry on that island anymore. So teams are just here on the normal Erangel for now. Virtus.pro, they are just moving right next. By the way, there's another team on the area as well. So they are not alone, and there's gonna be well, we can't see it from here, but I think it's okay. Let's go.
We saw this earlier. We freaked out about this. Arjun with the 3K. That's disgusting. But back to the present, of course. Let's see what Virtus.pro are going to continue to be doing over here. This zone's still way too big for the amount of people still alive, but at least they're luckily close enough to some people where they should be able to hear this fight happening. Let's see who's going to come out on top of this one, Pride or Siren?
Yeah, Sirens are taking the damage, and meanwhile, next to the Virtus.pro, there's Exquisite Decode, by the way, earlier, which we mentioned, so there might be a fight happening as well. We can see just Luna flying with that car, as we saw the Unicorns of Floyd doing that earlier a couple matches ago. Pride, they're just holding the compound here, right there on the eastern side of the school circle. It's going to be closing. We can see actually that Surreal Esports, they're completely alone on the southern side of Pachinki, and everybody else is here more on the eastern side, so all the pressure is happening, of course, here.
Here we go, starting to push down the hill. Honestly, Na'Vi, they have a little bit of the height advantage here. Exquisite, though, if they're able to stay down below inside of that ridge, they should be able to control the peak. So both these teams honestly have to play this carefully based off of the terrain spaces that they have. I like where Kitsune has as well. They have the hard cover of this little fence here. There we go, able to take one down. And wow, this is not a good spot for Exquisite Decode whatsoever. Virtus.pro also on the other side of them. They're completely on the open to at least one of these teams.
Yeah, the CIS teams, they have surrounded them definitely. So UK, they are out of luck. We spoke about the UK, we spoke about Ireland. But I mean, of course, Jason on the studio from America, maybe it's a little bit hard to see how the Europe is structured. But I mean, how I, as a main European, think about it. England, Ireland, they're just a small island on the side of us.
There we go. Looks like Virtus.pro still starting to make the move. Na'Vi actually starting to make a little bit of a rotation as well. This is interesting, pulling right up on top of them, and the Pride is going to start getting involved as well. So, oh man, one center team gets rid of, and now Na'Vi is. You see Kitsune trying to go on ahead and break that pattern, though. He knows that his team can't go on ahead and be crushed in between two teams, so he's going to try and divert some attention, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long battle. We can see also we do have Pride, of course, very close to Na'Vi as well, so they have to be careful. Even though they are fighting with the Exquisite Decode and they are fighting with BP, they also now have to worry about Major Pride as they will try to jump on Na'Vi. Meku's going to be running away, Matt is going to fall down, and by the way, the Na'Vi down to 2 players. We can see Meku with that spray. Will he find the player? No, it's going to be Discrim fighting Meku instead. Milk away. His life is going to be saved by the bell as he only has less than 10 HP remaining, and Skillzess tries to utilize the situation, wants to be the effective third party, getting that damage out of Milky Way and also from Jan. So Major Pride now, BP is going to be engaging them.
Oh, tries to use the vehicle as cover there, but didn't quite work out up here on the northern side. They're no longer inside of zone, actually, so all of these guys are going to have to continue to play this very carefully. Virtus.pro, there we go, trying to go for that res. Let's see that replay. I mean, Dixie didn't even see what hit him, literally. Just completely swiped him through the smoke and went back for the flush. That was clean use of a buggy.
Yeah, that's a clean swipe, I would say. I mean, imagine being there on the smokes and you can see nothing. What's gonna hit you? You're gonna be so
what happened?
Annoyed about it because there's nothing you can do about it. Of course, you could be without putting those smokes and kind of like giving away your location, but still like a very nice performance from VP player. Meanwhile, Yasha's gonna try to find more players from the from Pride. It's gonna be Milky Way that's gonna be spotted from the up from the hill. So I would separate it because all the other guys, they are having a better location. We can see again they're just moving now away, so they don't want to stay there. And Yasha cannot find that angle anymore. All these teams are, by the way, on the north side of the zone, and I'm pretty sure that's the warp thingy that actually gets you on the island.
If I'm not mistaken, I agree. Yeah, it looks like Pride was around it for a bit, kind of debating it potentially and whether or not they wanted to use that or continue to play the normal game down here on Erangel. Looks like they decided to go with that, especially as this blue zone is closing quite quickly. The zone did go down to the south, and they're going to be running into a couple of teams before they're going to be able to make it to the edge. One of them being Exquisite Decode, only 2 of them left, kind of being the gatekeepers of this zone's edge.
Yep, there we go. VP's going to find Major Pride. And all these teams on the northern side, whoever's going to be getting away from here, they have a lot of free space on the southern side. So they just might be like, I wouldn't say baited, but fooled by the empty space that, oh, there's nobody here. And then in the end, when they get more towards the middle, they will find a couple of teams who are already there as well. So it's going to be definitely a problem for the teams coming from the northern side. Elisio finds the straight towards VP. Yasha takes the damage, gets the flusher. Yasha, Elisio makes that point. An important point. Major Prize going to be focusing on him. Milky Way taken down by the blue zone. Nomi is going to be holding that place. That is going to be right next to it. Wants to put those mollies into use. I don't find Nomi with those mollies. And again, tries to deal the damage towards Square with this scrim. And Elisio in the end take it down by this scrim.
And looks like Virtus.pro are actually going to go on ahead and turn right back around and come back. They hear this fighting and they want to continue to get involved. I mean, if there's a third partying is the best situation you can put yourself into. So let's see who's going to come out on top of this one. They have the perfect opportunity to hold out both Pride and Exquisite. So let's go on ahead and wait and see as they're pushing closer. No way, Exquisite goes down now. It's just down to Pride.
Yeah. There we go, 7 teams, 19 players, VP. I mean, they still have a 3-man stack, so they are actually the, well, not the biggest team, but we still have 4-man stacks as well. So we do have 2 teams with 4 men currently. So that is definitely something that we have to take into account. So Flux, they have 4-man stack, and then we have Major Pride. They also have 4 players still alive. Then we have 3-man stacks and, well, smaller teams. But, you know, still, 3-man is a pretty strong situation after the, I would say, with this kind of experimental arcane game at the start, because yeah, you never know how the game is going to go. So if you actually made it this far with 3 guys, I think you got to be happy with it.
Exactly, and now we can see that new zone as well, centering just to the left of farm here. It looks like these Sirens, Sirens are in a great spot, not gonna lie. They're in the very center of this new zone, so as long as they can go on ahead and protect that to the best of their ability, they're gonna be very much into this late game. And I gotta say, I believe that they need these points, so we're gonna see how they're gonna continue to play the rest of this match. As well, we just saw the replay of another team being eliminated. Only a couple more teams left at this point.
Yeah, that's how Daddy was taken down as the last guy from his team. But yeah, now meanwhile, people are getting inside, so we still have Pride and VP on the way, part of the Conqueror rotating as well. But all the other teams, they are already inside, and they're of course trying to build there on the middle area. So Snake is going to be occupied by Flux, and also we can see Sirens there on the western side of it, and the all the way towards the kind of like the villa building, more on the western side of the circle. We do have, of course, the Surreal Esports, and all the teams coming from the north. They need to find a place from the northern side. So Abu Dhabi is still free, Dirty Road is still free as well. So those are most probably the places where the team's going to be settling down. As Pride on the picture currently, just coming down from the Potato Hill and watching towards the Abu Dhabi buildings, and I think that's going to be the place which they're going to take.
Here we go. I agree. I don't disagree. There we go. Back up on top. They're going to go ahead and get in a fight with Pride, potentially. Conquer as they're driving by, wanting the same building. But Conquer, there's only 2 of them left. But, oh, Pride, they only have 1 person there so far. It's Milky Way. So it looks like Conquer is actually going to go on ahead and take this challenge. 3v1. I like those odds for Conquer. But let's see. Already setting up those shields. Such a good placement for them. Kind of trapping themselves, though, I will say. So they got to be careful now. as Pride, they're all here.
Yeah, now it's 3 versus 3, and we can see still one player from the major Pride coming from the north, so he can use those angles from above, actually, because these buildings, they open up very nicely on the northern hill from this location. Yen is going to be trying to find something with an ace, knows that there's going to be 2 players from Conqueror, either inside or behind that building. Got to be very careful with it. I will be, of course, trying to make sure that nobody will be shooting him down from the 2nd floor. We're going to be trying to connect on Redox. He's going to be taken down with the Molly already, so that's going to be now 2 players from Conqueror remaining on those buildings, and VP, they are coming. They have taken the dirt road, and they can actually try to third party the situation from the north.
They can. They're already going on ahead, lining up across that road, taking a look down here to see what's happening. Mango, Redux both down. I think that leaves just Reeves left against the rest of Pride. They're getting some reses going through, but I don't think Reeves not going to be able to whatsoever. And actually, wait a second. There we go. Conqueror EU was just eliminated. So it looks like Pride now has that compound all to themselves, but they're kind of trapped inside of there, especially with VP, Virtus.pro above them.
A nice spray coming from VP, definitely. They're taking the damage towards the Fire Flux. And Pride, they have all the 4 players. They didn't lose anybody on that situation. They got some help from Fire Flux and also from VP. But they get a good place on the circle because the new circle was hitting meanwhile, and it shifted towards the northern side. So the buildings which Pride is currently holding, they are the best places on the circle for now. As we can see as Sirens, they need to get away from the southern direction. But they only have 1 player standing because we can see Sakura being knocked down. Luna's going to be trying to stay alive. But Enjoy wants to get that spray. Doesn't find Luna with it. She's going to be hiding behind that vehicle. And finally, the toe and the leg will be found. And got a Sirens. They are taking the 5th place on the last match of the day.
5th place, though, gonna go on ahead and get them at least 6 placing points, whatever kill points they're able to pick up during this mod mode. So we'll see if the others now are gonna be able to pick up the last remaining points, because there's no more going up to an island and then dying and respawning, basically. This time you die, you are out completely. And it looks like Surreal Esports now trying to find their own place inside of this zone. Gotta be careful because Pride, once again, they had the compound, and I actually like what they're doing, kind of spreading out down here to flush down the south.
Yeah, Naomi is right there on the, just right next to them, actually. So definitely Pride is going to be trying to take them down. Naomi is going to find Jetkill and Surreal Esports. They are down. So 3 teams. We have Pride, we have Fireflux, we have Virtus.pro. Virtus.pro only with, let's see, there's going to be 3 players alive. And for Conqueror also, Vito is somehow, no, he's not alive. It's going to be incorrectly marked on the map still. So let's forget that one. So 3 teams and 10 players alive. So that's the situation. MPFF and VP are still remaining.
In the next zone move to decide to pull up towards that northeastern side. The bullets are already flying out. Pride taking on a lot of damage. Wait a second, onto Fire Flux. So gotta be careful down here, especially as Virtus.pro as well. I like that Pride has such a huge spread because they get a ton of information. They can pester everybody else that is inside of this zone. I'm just a little bit concerned that if either of these teams figure that out and they turn around and just go ahead and start targeting a specific member from Pride, that's not going to be good for them. So we'll see if Pride's going to be able to come out of this.
Yeah, they will get the revival done. So it's going to be 4 versus 3 versus 1. So Pride with 4, Fireflux with 3, and VP just with 1. So we can see Wade on that shack. We can see Pride, they have definitely identified. So 2 players, this Scream and Milky Way, still watching that shack. Wave is going to be getting out of it. Immediately, Fire is going to be coming from this Scream and Milky Way. And more players from Pride will be, they have the whole team actually. They want to push this one. They want to control the northern side. So they are coming definitely. Wade definitely in trouble. Tries to go on the smoke. Tries to take that buggy. Can he actually get away? He can. No, he cannot. Milky Way in the end will catch him on the fly. But I mean, it was so close that he wasn't able to go on the lower side of that hill.
Such a close getaway. The thing is that he would have driven right into Fireflux anyway, so it would have been like brief happiness is my guess. But now we're down to our very last 2 teams. Of course, 1 all the way up into the northern side, 1 currently down, but otherwise once they get this res it'll be 4 up, and then of course the other Fireflux down to the south with 3 team members left up. Gotta be careful though, because it looks like Fireflux are kind of setting themselves up in a bowl, and Major Pride can still see like all of them.
Yeah, this could be the nade, gonna be throwing that straight towards Owner, gonna be too much pre-cooked, but the end is gonna find that straight towards Razy. So he is crawling, we can see Owner behind that rock. There's gonna be a new nade, and that's gonna be a perfect one, but no, very small amount of damage. But Pride is coming, they are coming. Diskin with the UMP spray, with Nomi gonna be jumping out of the vehicle, and there we go. Wolf, what are you doing, man? He's gonna get a lot of damage done. Milkwave's gonna find Owner. Wolf finds Milky Way. I don't know how many hits he actually dropped down, at least 2 of them.
The shield ended up helping them with that nade that ended up coming now to 1v1. Wolf instantly trying to go for the res onto at least one because Yen is the only one left for Major Pride. Right now, this is down to Fire Flux. The only thing I'm concerned about is they're definitely stuck in a singular spot while they don't know exactly where Yen is. So, oh man, Yen is going to have to play this perfectly.
Yeah, Yen has the circle as well. I mean, he's on the middle of the circle, and Fireflux stay outside of the circle, so let's see how that's going to be played down. We can see Razy moving a little bit to Fireflux. Meanwhile, they have saved all the players. They have the 3-man stack. So, I mean, suddenly the whole thing's going to turn around. Yen is going to be spotted down. The spray is going to be going towards Razy. There's going to be definitely shots coming from all the direction. And in the end, Fireflux, they will end the final battle with the victory and will claim their first chicken dinner.
I could not believe that, Fireflux. I really thought that they weren't going to be able to pull that off, but a huge, huge ending there, just able to completely turn it around. That was definitely a win that they deserved there, being able to completely reverse those roles at the end.
Yeah, the whole Arcane mod, I mean, definitely we had our huge amount of entertainment, I would say, definitely. But yeah, let's see what the panel has to say about it. So let's see what Jason and the others are thinking.
Well, Jason and the other teams here. I do appreciate the special call out every single time. I appreciate a little bit angry, but it's fine. I introduce you anyways. I don't know what there is to say about that. I confusion all around from start to finish. You saw what they're at the end. I don't know what the heck that was. The beginning. I don't know what the heck that was. But there's a lot of kills. I'm really curious is how many points some of these teams are able to get. Are we looking at like 100, 150 marks? Who knows? It was major. It was major, Jason. First of all, major Pride was just on top in terms of kills. Time after time. I really love that Arcane mod. No, you. We can see James reigns supreme. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully you guys can hear me as well here on the desk with me. But crazy times, honestly, all around there as we saw.
It seems like it wasn't able to deal with the craziness of it all, and we all had to restart our feeds. But we saw that Arch on 1v3 and the Big was incredibly good. I gotta give a lot of credit to Goddess Sirens, right? They haven't really showed up. They've attempted to take fights here and there, but they were a lot more proactive as a team in the early parts of that game, Tarzan. They got a number of kills.
I mean, that mode really helps unleash some of these players, right? Like, you know, you have a little bit of stop loss going there. You can really just try your luck on the island. If not, you start on the ground. It's completely fine. So I really enjoyed that one. And you can see how the side of Major Pride as well, showing what they're made of. That's so much hype for this team. I know they missed the mark, a lot of them, for this season, but you know, in the months to come, they are one of the teams to watch for sure.
I think adding Yen and Nomi has been and Discrim has been a big plus for them, but this was absolutely incredible. We saw the end, Jason. Like, Wolf, he nearly pulled it off in Miramar, but he pulled it off successfully this time, clutching for his team tremendously.
Oh my gosh. Major Pride, 129 points on that round, 117 kill points. And they see Fireflux who ended up winning the chicken dinner, only got 105. This is I mean, we were saying this when we were watching. Clearly, this last match of the day is one of the most important because of the amount of points you can secure for yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got no words, right? Like, we talk about placement to kill points ratio, gentlemen. It's a complete different game here, and we just love to see it.
Like, and to highlight though as well, Navi were also active, especially on those small islands, the Champions Island and the Initial Island. They were absolutely spot on with that activity, and it afforded them a hell of a lot of points from kills, 65 in total with those 2 placement points, as well as even to an extent Conqueror as well, 46. But like I said, just genuinely have to highlight Goddess Sirens with 60 points in total, 54 from kills. And one team that I think have gone unnoticed, and you mentioned it in the virtual green room, Tarzan Surreal Esports. They've been like under the radar in today's games, and they deserve a lot of props.
Yeah, that last game as well, like they made it to, I think when you look at how they play, if we just let's say there's a balance between this point system and what we're used to, they would do pretty well in both, all of these. So that is actually a team that we have almost overlooked so far. But we look at this second page, some of these teams, we're still waiting for sure. I think Exquisite Decode would be one. And of course, Unicorns of Love
have
not been making the statement.
Jason, what are they doing wrong, man?
Everything, as we can see. We're gonna move into our last match killers. Discrim yet again making his way in there. Razy as well, Nomi. I feel like we should change the kills to like creep score, because arcade mode, League of Legends, etc.
Oh my god.
But Discrim was just farming people here.
That's lit.
That's a good idea, man. That's actually a really good idea. But also the damage, you might as well call that creep score, right? 959 damage from Discrim. Yen following up with 897 damage. Nobody, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong on this, guys, but I don't think anyone's hit over 1,000 damage player individually.
I don't quite know. But this is for sure. Like, we are looking at these game force, you know, in this tournament. Look at 3,200. I do expect it even more, to be fair, but it's just because of the high turnover in that early game for sure, right? So there's kill points really just boost up. We talk about one big games all the time in competitive play, but in the Star Challenge here, gentlemen, that game 4 will be the big game that you need to have.
Well, just imagine, final day, a team who's 150 points behind still technically has a chance to come out on top. And, well, unfortunately, again, we did not win a single point here, and the community has beaten us. I believe the community should be getting themselves another code in chat in a few moments of time, so make sure you guys try to redeem that as quick as possible. I don't know about you guys. I mean, Unicorns Love need to step up, but we also need to step up our prediction game, because it's been garbage.
Yeah, like, I picked Team Unique off the back of 3 strong results, including a chicken dinner. And then they go out, I think, first in the final game. So, like, okay, now I know how Maxman feels.
Oh, you can see here, we won match 1, we tied match 2, and then we lost in the... All right, did we tie completely? I think we tied. We got 3, they got 3. All right, we didn't lose that badly. Okay. So clearly the community... So clearly we can bring in the community to replace all 3 of us, and their predictions would be pretty much spot on. But yeah, considering like how these games go, considering how many points you get for kills, especially in the early phases, it is really hard to predict who's going to win, because everyone's changed up their play style.
Completely. I feel like tomorrow we are going to see some other type of spicy bits, because like it really comes down to whether teams want to do certain type of homework. It's some type of homework they've never done before. I can't even imagine what it's going to look like, or just have a lot of fun on arcade. I think that is going to be very fun. I mean, it's not just for the team, maybe for us casters as well, and I think that could add a lot of inspiration, right, to how teams play. And after all, a very good team bonding exercise, right?
Oh my lord, Jason, Major Pride won amazingly point scoring game, and they go on top of the standings.
I am legitimately surprised there's only a 5-point difference between first and second place, and then a 14-point difference between second and third, considering how many points some of these teams have been getting all day long. I mean, Navi had a 70-pointer in round 2 when they won. But then looking towards the second page here, 36 points for next Rüya. I mean, they're technically not out of it, right? They can easily come back. They have 2 days of action left. They still have hundreds and thousands of points they could potentially get. But Unicorns of Love there. I mean, if we just look at kill points alone, next Rüya Gaming, I honestly didn't expect that of them. For me, they are like the best Turkish team out there, and they're not really showing it.
Even Goddess Sirens have more kill points than most of these teams in the second half of the standings. So to me, it's like, you know, a lot of these teams need to step up, and they do need to recognize that this format is kill heavy. And so many of these teams and players talk about how good they are. They post montages, they post clips with fancy music of them fragging out. Now's the time to prove it, right? The format pays for it. Do it.
All right, well, the points matter a ton, Tarzan, but money's what it's all about. Money speaks the loudest. Let's take a look at where the teams currently stand in terms of their funds. Remember, every team here started out $2,500 in their pocketbook, in their checking account. And right now, at the moment, Major Pride's at 2420 left, 2040 or 2440 for Na'Vi. And keep in mind, the most you can lose in a round is $150.
Is actually very intriguing. Like right here, we talk about how the team that has the least amount of money deducted should be those who are doing some very important benchmark stuff. Like Big actually has quite a lot, and you can see the side of Surreal Esports as well. So like 2460. So I think that is going to be a different perspective to see this. So it's completely fresh, and we will go back and maybe chew the numbers a little bit more, guys.
And like Virtus.pro, 2,160. They're currently the lowest standing team when it comes to monetary value by a somewhat decent amount. Exquisite Decode kind of closely following ahead of them. So coming into tomorrow, they need to kind of stop that while also trying to jump up in the overall standing. So again, the fine line is there, but it is there, and just got to be aggressive.
Yeah, keep in mind, any of the prize pool, I don't want to say deductions, I want to say more losses for all the teams get put into a giant pool at the very end, and the winner of the entire event gets this added to what they currently have. So $4,500 up for grab at the moment. Is going to continue to rise, though. It is impossible to not go higher as the days and the rounds continue forward. And right now, Major Pride would be winning that to put in their pockets, which would be phenomenal.
It would be. It would be. I have asked, you know, if they want to store it in my bank account, the big bank of money, and they said it's okay. So I'm looking after it for the time being.
Yeah,
I think a different, you know, angle to this. It feels a bit like, you know, sports team practice where you miss something and you have to do push-ups. This feels a little bit like it at the same time.
Push-ups. The only thing I do are curls, like curling a chip into my mouth so I can eat it. We can see here results though over the course of today. Supermassive Blaze taking match 1 here on Erangel, Na'Vi on match 2, Team Unique on match 3, and Fire Flux at the very end. Good to see the boys from Clash Athletics able to do a phenomenal performance, and you can even see our top players overall within the event. Discrim, I feel like you talked about him actually, Tarzan, towards the start of the day.
Yes, I mean, this player was with Alliance for so long, right? I thought the team was having that dip, you know, ever since Milky Way just kind of... nope, Milky was there to make a mistake. So Discrim now with Major Part, I feel like they've just found the enabling factor within each other. I think that is the key thing with creating the best team, right? Like sometimes you have comparative strength and weaknesses. They might have found the sweet spot, and Discrim just fragging his mind out.
Keep in mind, we are not done yet today. We still have more matches to come tomorrow. We'll be following the same order every single day. And you can see we're ending things off with Erangel Arcane, and I cannot wait to see how that one's going to break down. Gentlemen, quick little thoughts, though, before we end off the day. Imperium, go ahead.
Man, I love the new mode. I will be trying it out tonight for sure myself, seeing if I can get as many kills as Major Pride. Most likely will not. Thanks for confirming that. Feels good, man. Feels good. But definitely impressed with Unique. Definitely impressed with Na'Vi. And Unicorns Love need to step up.
Well, I'd say, like, I need to find a balance between all these new stuff and what we're preparing for. I want to tonight maybe spend some time to look at the teams that we should expect to see in PMGC and see how they've been doing today so far. So back to some basics maybe, and come back tomorrow for some more fun.
Yeah, well, fun is definitely the key word here, because it's going to be more fun as we do come back tomorrow. You guys saw the time. We'll be back here for the next 2 days, the exact same time every single day. And we'll see you tomorrow for some more PUBG Mobile action here at the PMSC.